Previously on the island of Khorinis.
I want to clear the largest forest all the way to the east in the game and its small pockets. I want to clear the plateau full of lizards leading to the mountain fortress. I also want us to hunt some of the northern beaches lurkers and bloodflies and then clear the forest leading to the old mine of wolves, which we were too weak to do previously, and also clear the shores on the other side with a beach filled with lurkers and lizards. And remember that you can not only pull them individually, but if you step back at the right moment, they cannot hit you. The scavengers are still asleep, and this is something I want to show you. If you can take them down in one hit, I recommend sneaking. You can do a charge attack and just kill them without waking up the whole herd. The AI gets overwritten that they need to eat, prioritizing anything else, even active combat, and also gives me the impression of this harder to breathe air almost. Oh my god. Nameless? Oh my god, it was so close, I don't even want to think about that. Ooh, maybe from the back? Yeah, you can tell. We're dealing 4 points of damage. This might be more than we bargained for. Let's use the tree for cover. I wish Nameless wouldn't be switching all the time. He's switching and I'm bitching about it. Oh. And by Grandma, understand Viper the Smelter, who has 750 ore that I want to get. But yeah, same principle. Look at that, and as a result we are at 136 health points, and yeah, 750, so I'm thinking Rusty Two-Hander and 2 Wolfskins?
Mam dla ciebie recept.
350, nice.
To świetnie! Pokaż ją! Znakomicie! Teraz sam będę mógł wytwarzać napój uzdrawiający.
Really?
Równy z ciebie chłop. Wspomnę o tobie, Diego.
Zaczynajmy. Niech wygra najlepszy.
Now, Kurgo enters with a charge, which is a terrible idea, so take advantage of that and dodge out of the way. Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought.
Walczyłem z Kirgo.
I pokonałeś go. Całkiem nieźle jak na takiego żółtodzioba.
And guys, notice that if you promise to Dusty that you'll take him to the swamp camp, you get experience. Look at this.
To znaczy, że odprowadzę cię do obozu bractwa.
But you don't actually need to keep that promise. Just promising it gives you the experience.
Dobra, wyjdźmy południową bramą. Przy północnym wyjściu nic nie wskuramy. Tamtejsi strażnicy są nieprzekupni.
Hej, ty! Chyba nie próbujesz przemycić Dustiego na zewnątrz, co?
Chcieliśmy tylko...
To się wam zaraz odechce.
Idziemy się przespacerować. A oto 100 bryłek rudy.
Nic nie widziałem.
Mistrzu, oto ktoś, kto chciałby cię poznać.
Kogóż mi tu przyprowadziłeś? Czy jest godzien?
Cóż, bez twojego duchowego wsparcia zapewne się nie obędzie, mistrzu.
Dobrze. Od dzisiaj ten człowiek będzie moim uczniem.
Mam zabrać następny
there we
ładunek
go.
ziela do Kaloma.
Co? Znowu?
Chyba nie każesz mi teraz wybić dla ciebie wszystkich błotnych węży, co? Nie mam tyle czasu.
Dobra, już dobra. Masz tu to cholerne ziele.
To ja wróciłem. Przychodzę po następną dostawę.
Jasne, żeby sprzedać ją znowu w nowym obozie.
Yep.
Najpierw moje 50 bryłek zaliczki.
And as you can see, there is no dialogue line allowing us to pay him 50 ore again. The only way we can pull this off is via insert item miscellaneous _P, and thankfully the first suggestion is the raw swamp weed we're supposed to get. And very important, I'm gonna save the game here, and please guys, make a separate safe backup for the brownie points achievement. I'm not gonna get into the nitty-gritty why, but if you want all trophies and the platinum without playing the game multiple times, this is pretty much the first branching path in the narrative that you're gonna take. We really grew in power, we've been on a hunt, we've made a lot of money, and all this to really be able to stand down ground in the most dangerous camps of the three, the new camp, which is where our next episode will take place after Mordrag, our friendly neighbor, will deliver us there. So hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Gothic. This is Guys115 speaking, and I'm very happy to welcome you to what will essentially be the largest episode of this Let's Play series. I think our episode 8, if I count correctly. After our relaxing hunt across the barrier, we are now ready, we've toughened up to visit and earn some proper respect in the third faction of the game, the new camp. See, after the extortionist mafia of the old camp or the exploitative pyramid scheme of the swamp camp, let's see what these guys have to offer, and there's no better person to start this journey with than Mordrag. Now guys, very important disclaimer, this spot right here marks the point where we will end up taking different branching pathways in terms of the cunning scheme and brownie points achievements. These achievements, like I explained before, they don't work together. They are mutually exclusive due to one very stupid dialogue script, so you have to already decide here how you handle Mordrag, and that's gonna have some influence on this. Also, when it comes to the True Believer achievement, we're also gonna make progress actually for that in the new camp of all places, but True Believer achievement you can complete along with brownie points. You cannot complete True Believer and cunning schemes, and you cannot complete cunning schemes and brownie points. The details I'll cover in today's and the next episode. Okay guys? So what I'm trying to get at is please, 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 amongst your many save slots that you also have on consoles, create a dedicated brownie points achievement save slot so that you are able to then reload and take a couple of steps to re-unlock it fairly quickly. Okay guys, so the wisdom of what I'm about to say will become apparent, I think, in the next or the episode after when we make the guild choice. For now, let's finally talk to Mordrag. And again, like I said, we have a couple of options here, but if you want to settle things peacefully and earn points for the cunning scheme achievements, you need to tell him to go to the new camp and not beat him up.
Wchodźmy do nowego obozu.
Dobra, chodź za mną.
Mordrag has agreed to show me the way to the new camp. I hope this isn't a trap. Now guys, this is very useful. You can again see Mordrag's name turn the lovely shade of teal color. This is fantastic because again, all the kills Mordrag will land, you get the experience for, like Balparves when he accompanied us to the Brotherhood of the Sleeper. Now, since we already cleared these parts of the map, this isn't going to be all that useful, but early in the game, you can get very easy experience via the virtue of having Mordrag accompany you to the new camp, and you can then return back via the same path you cleared of monsters together. That's another option to get experience very easily, and I can't recommend that enough if you so want. But this time I think Mordrag's bow is gonna get busy with maybe 2 goblins. Now, whilst we're traveling through familiar territory, one other thing I want to say guys, last time I recorded the previous episode, Gothic Remake wasn't out yet. Now that I'm recording this, not only Gothic Remake has been out for a while, but so is the official release of Gothic 1 Classic on PlayStation and Xbox, right? I think 28th of July was the release date. So again, I don't recommend buying it for 30 for that price unless you know you're gonna play it a couple of times. I mean, for me it's one of the most influential games of my life, but I still think it's an outrageous price point for a quarter-of-a-century-old game. Don't support business practices like that if you don't have to. And what I think is interesting is I'm curious if more people will now come back from Gothic Remake to re-experience the original. I actually kind of hope so. So that's gonna be fun. As it pertains to me and my coverage of the Gothic Remake, well guys, I've had so little time to spend on gaming that all the time on gaming I had, I spent on Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness and this Let's Play series. So I made very little progress for the Gothic Remake. And I only want to cover it once I beat it a couple of times, okay? Now I'm stopping here by Cavalorn's place just to get our hands on a couple of arrows we left him with. I think Bloodfly wings are... oh, perfect. So let's leave him with 1 arrow, that is fine. Okay, thank you for being such a patient darling, Mordrag. Let's keep moving. But yeah, like I said, I'm working on my first impressions of Gothic Remake. Once I finish it, probably 3 times to share my thoughts, almost a review-like video on it. And then I'll be covering Gothic Remake Let's Play series hopefully sometime next year. I would like to cover the original Gothic, Gothic 1 Remake, and then move on to Gothic 2 maybe vanilla version and Night of the Raven expansion. We'll see. And there are rumors we might see Gothic 2 remake, which would be fantastic if it gets the same treatment like this game. Let's just say I'm very happy with how it turned out. There's Aiden, who taught us how to take trophies. We already covered that in one of the previous episodes. Now, one important distinction I want to draw here in between what you see now is the PC Steam version that I'm playing. But, okay, let's take care of these gobos. I think this bow will do the job quite nicely, even without a critical hit. 2 arrows is all it takes. Fantastic. Even Mordrag tried to help a little. Well, wasn't fast enough, but that is fine. Okay, there are some plants around this rock, but I want to leave it alone because if you go too far from Mordrag, he's gonna disappear, and you're gonna miss out on some experience points you get for making the journey with him. This chest over here, left, left, right. Very simple, and there's some ore and arrows in it, which is fantastic. Now, if you are playing the PlayStation version of the game, or even the Switch version of the game, you will find this place occupied by 2 Blackmailers. These guys also made it into Gothic Remake. For some reason, they are cut content on PC that was missing forever. These Blackmailers, which is really funny, will ignore you if you go with Mordrag, because they're in on the scheme. They know Mordrag, they respect him. But if you then come back through this exact spot on your own, you'd best be ready to pay or get into a very tough fight that we're not ready for right now. So you might then consider taking a longer path away from the new camp, just to avoid the 2 Blackmailers, okay? I think it's really cool. Adds a lot to the character of the new camp. What an anarchic, bandit-ridden place that essentially is. But yeah, no such luck on PC, unfortunately. Now there is a shore with the fisherman's hut. We'll get to explore that, don't you worry. But not in today's episode. We are actually on a strict timer to do so much stuff in the new camp. Okay, and now experience reward
No
200.
to jesteśmy. Za tą bramą rozciąga się nowy obóz. Porozmawiaj z Laresem, on ci pomoże. Daj mu ten cenny pierścień. To twoja przepustka do Laresa.
Indeed.
Trzeba mieć nie lada powód, żeby się z nim spotkać. Wiesz co? Po zastanowieniu chyba posiedzę tu parę dni. Zarobiłem już niezłą sumkę, a w starym obozie zaczyna robić się trochę za gorąco.
I mean, they ordered a hit on you.
Jakbyś czegoś
Best not appear there anytime soon.
Znajdziesz mnie w karczmie na środku jeziora. Uważaj na siebie.
Do zobaczenia.
We just learned about a pub at the lake of the new camp, and it's one of my most favorite places in the whole game. And now we get an update to this entry. Mordrag has agreed to show me the way, which we read a while ago, but now that we're in front of the gate of the new camp, Mordrag gave me a ring I am supposed to give Lares, the leader of the rogues. If I really want to join new camp, Mordrag wants to stay in the bar at the lake for a while. Now, what's interesting is we got 200 experience points, which is more than we would have for just beating him up. And we're also gonna get experience points for delivering the ring that Mordrag gave us, and it is Mordrag's ring, dexterity +5. Important caveat, guys, dexterity does not increase the range damage you do in Gothic Classic. It does that in the remake, but not here. It only allows you to equip better bows. But I just realized we don't have this ring equipped for some reason. See, our protection is now 30, which is fantastic. Anyway, guys, just to get a sense of what New Camp is like, these 2 guards are absolutely fascinating. Normally they would stop you, ask you what's what. Even the nameless hero is a bit confused by their phlegmaticism or lethargy.
Cześć, jestem tu nowy.
I co z tego?
What you doing?
Co robisz?
A na co ci to wygląda? Palę. Ha, jeśli myślisz, że dam ci się zaciągnąć, to się grubo mylisz.
You don't know who you're talking to. We have so much weed on us anyway.
Nie będziesz próbował mnie zatrzymać? Nie zapytasz, czego tu szukam? Albo coś w tym rodzaju?
A po cholerę mam sobie zawracać głowę. Zresztą ktoś taki jak ty nie narobi raczej wielkich szkód.
Od razu wiedziałem, że...
Po cholerę, I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting
Co
that.
słychać wewnątrz?
To co zwykle. Ogólnie spokój. Od czasu do czasu jakaś drobna burda.
Okay, these guys are beyond caring about anything. I like them already.
Myślałem,
Co
że to się
słychać?
skończyło już
Nie
dawno.
najgorzej, ale nie mam już nic do palenia.
Now, if you offer him swamp weed, thankfully the game prioritizes the cheapest green novice you have on you.
Mam przy sobie trochę ziela. Chcesz?
Jasne. A ty co, handlarz z obozu sekty, czy jak? Zawsze to samo.
Damn it! I don't know why, but sometimes it happens on the PC version, another bug, that's not gonna be the case on consoles, where after you give him Swampweed, there are supposed to be 2 additional lines of dialogue you can ask him in return, and it's advice and what's it like inside, and these lines of dialogue tell you also about a mercenary called Gorn, which we're gonna meet today. But unfortunately, sometimes these lines are here and sometimes they're absent from the game on PC, and I don't know what is causing this bug, so this is really unfortunate. So anyway, you can also climb the ladder above this. Well, I hesitate to call it a guard post because it really is just a wooden gate. I guess they could put some archers in here or something like that, but yeah, there's absolutely nothing in it. But you know, I want to show you all these lovely handcrafted areas. And again, I have to restrain myself not to talk and gush about how beautiful Gothic Remake is. Okay, let's talk to one of these generic rogues. So, what goes on here?
Co się tutaj dzieje?
Jesteś tu od niedawna, co? Magowie od dłuższego czasu przygotowywali się do wysadzenia
Ages.
kopca rudy w powietrze.
Now I'm interested.
Teraz mówią, że są już prawie gotowi. Sądząc po wielkiej hałdzie, którą usypały krety, wygląda na to, że tym razem nie żartują.
Okay, then what can you tell me about the camp?
Co możesz mi opowiedzieć o tym obozie?
To taka społeczność z przymusu, jeśli wiesz, co mam na myśli.
Community for community's
Każdy
sake.
robi tu to, co chce, ale jest nas na tyle dużo, że Gomez boi się wydać nam walną bitwę. Chociaż
True.
głowę dam,
Strength
że
in numbers.
bardzo by chciał.
Jak wyglądają wasze stosunki z Gomezem?
Okradamy go.
Kto wami dowodzi?
Hersztem bandy jest Lares. Większość z nas uznaje jego zwierzchność, ale on nie mówi nam, co mamy robić.
Okay, so Lares is who Mordrag sent us to. Now let's also ask, what do we have to
W
do
jaki
to join?
sposób mogę dołączyć do obozu?
Możesz się przyłączyć do naszej bandy, ale najpierw musisz udowodnić, że nie trzymasz z Gomezem.
Jak mam to zrobić?
Na twoim miejscu spróbowałbym zabrać coś bardzo ważnego ze starego obozu albo ze starej kopalni i przyniósłbym to Laresowi.
Maybe Ian's list? Maybe. Anyway, we can now ask, where is Lares?
Gdzie mogę znaleźć Laresa?
Na samym końcu jaskini po lewej. Na pewno trafisz. Jak zatrzymają cię jego chłopcy, będziesz wiedział, że jesteś na miejscu.
Okay, fair enough. Now, notice how the only person we could ask about was Lares. That is not a coincidence. Now, as it comes to this winch, on PC you can touch it without getting attacked, but it doesn't actually work or do anything. And again, on consoles, it finally works to close or open the gate, but you'll get assaulted for touching it. Okay, guys, so what I want to do is very quickly, because the exact hour at which we are playing, which in this case is around 4 AM, is important for what I'm about to show you. There is a couple of rice fields, which is really impressive, and there is this wooden structure over here. Okay, so let's sneak into it so as not to wake anyone up. And again, there's nothing in this section of this giant warehouse, but I just want to show you where every ladder leads, like I say. There are many sacks of rice collected from the rice fields in front of the camp. The rice fields is a cornerstone of the economy of the new camp, because without it, they would have to hit Gomez's convoys even more, and I think the situation would escalate. This way they have something to export, although from what we heard, no one really likes their rice schnapps, the alcohol they make from it. And we'll get to the distillery later on. Again, all the environments support the in-game economy of these different factions, which I think is fantastic. Now, oh my god, of course, no one sleeps in my version of the game anymore, but we can still... Okay, he almost turned. Rob this guy. Left, right, left, 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 right. And this is a gentleman called Rice Lord. 130 nuggets in his chest over here, which I think is fantastic. And now, so as not to get caught, and I'm speeding up the whole game just so we don't have to wait for all that, let's get back the way we came. Cross this threshold very carefully. Excellent. The sun is rising very soon. We don't have much time. And something I want to show you is if you talk to the thugs here...
Co tu robisz?
Pracuję dla ryżowego księcia. Jakbyś czegoś potrzebował, zapytaj Lewusa.
Indeed, the other thug will say exactly the same. Now, if we try and talk to Lefty, whilst it's early morning or night time...
Co tu robisz?
Pracuję dla ryżowego księcia.
Znajdzie się dla mnie jakieś zajęcie?
Porozmawiamy innym razem.
I bet those of you who know Gothic 1 weren't expecting that, were you? You actually need to be here during daytime to trigger a completely different quest. I just think it's cool. I wanted to show this to you. So anyway, now we're entering the new camp proper.
Chcesz przejść przez tę bramę?
A spróbujesz mnie powstrzymać?
Nie, ale powinieneś wiedzieć, co cię tam czeka. Nie jesteś w starym obozie ani wśród tych nawiedzonych świrów.
No i co mnie tam czeka?
Tutaj nie ma cieni ani świątynnych strażników, którzy wyciągną cię z kłopotów. W nowym obozie każdy musi radzić sobie sam. Tylko my, najemnicy, trzymamy się razem.
Indeed. So what do the mercenaries do?
Czym zajmują się najemnicy?
Jesteśmy żołnierzami w służbie magów wody. Naszym celem jest wyrwanie się z tej przeklętej kolonii. Musimy ciężko pracować, bo nie chcieliśmy iść na łatwiznę jak magnaci ze starego obozu, którzy żerują na niewolniczej pracy kopaczy. I wszyscy jesteśmy posłuszni Lee. To wspaniały człowiek. Tylko dzięki niemu ten cholerny obóz jeszcze się nie rozpadł.
Okay, so what do the mages do then?
Co robią magowie?
Badają magiczne właściwości wydobywanej przez krety rudy. O ile się orientuję, zamierzają wysadzić w powietrze cały ten piekielny kopiec i zniszczyć barierę.
To chyba niebezpieczne.
Magowie twierdzą, że nie mamy się czego obawiać.
I mean, they're the experts, not the rest of us, but still. What do the rest
A
of
co
people
z
do?
innymi ludźmi?
Szumowiny, bez wyjątku.
Szumowiny.
Mają gdzieś ten obóz. Już wolałbym, żeby byle zbieracze ryżu pilnowali bramy.
Okay, fair enough. So, how are things in general?
Co słychać w obozie?
Krety nadal pracują. Kiedy uzbierają dość rudy, wysadzimy ją w powietrze.
This is the second time he mentioned the ore mount. Let's ask
Macie
about
tutaj
it.
wielką hałdę rudy?
Aha, można tak powiedzieć. Za taką ilość rudy Robar sprzedałby własną żonę. Ale my mamy gdzieś tego starego pierdziela. Chcemy się stąd wydostać.
Starego pierdziela.
Gdzie jest ten kopiec?
Chcesz zobaczyć wielką górę rudy, co? Na środku jaskini jest dziura. Tam wszystko zrzucają. Ale nie pozwolą ci się do niej zbliżyć, mówię ci. Magowie i nasi ludzie pilnują rudy dniem i nocą.
Pytałem z ciekawości.
Okay,
Uważaj
Jarvis
na siebie.
was really nice. Let's talk to more generic mercenary. So, how's it going?
Jak leci?
Jak zwykle. Pilnujemy, żeby nikt nie zbliżył się do magów ani do rudy.
Okay, who calls the shots?
Kto tu dowodzi?
Wszyscy najemnicy słuchają Lee. Szef zawarł umowę z magami. My ich ochraniamy, a oni pomogą nam stąd zwiać.
A więc w rzeczywistości rządzą tu magowie.
Nie,
This is interesting.
obozem nikt tak naprawdę nie rządzi. Większość z mieszkających tu ludzi nie chciała bądź nie mogła mieszkać w starym obozie. Każdy dba tu o własny interes. Zgadzamy się tylko co do jednego. Lepiej już usypać z rudy wielki kopiec i wysadzić go w powietrze, niż wchodzić w układy z królem. Niech mu ziemia ciężką będzie.
You can already see the very different philosophies between the old camp and the new camp.
Gdzie mogę znaleźć Lee?
Wejdź do wielkiej jaskini, trzymaj się prawej strony i wyjdź na samą górę.
And because we heard about Lee and the magicians, we can now ask for additional directions, which is
Gdzie
cool.
mogę znaleźć jakiegoś maga?
Zwykle przebywają w zamkniętej górnej części jaskini, ale czasami można jakiegoś spotkać przy kopcu rudy w centrum.
Okay, do you need another good man?
Nie przydałby się wam dodatkowy człowiek?
Lee nie przyjmuje ludzi, którzy nie spędzili tu kilku lat i nie mają dużego
I
doświadczenia.
don't plan to spend years
Jeśli
here.
chcesz zostać w obozie, musisz najpierw postawić się szkodnikom.
Okay, and tell me about the camp.
Co możesz mi opowiedzieć o tym obozie?
Uważaj na siebie. W obozie aż roi się od morderców i rabusiów. Mamy tutaj kilka niepisanych praw. Pierwsze. Tylko najemnicy mogą wchodzić do strefy magów. Drugie. Zanim zbliżysz się do kopca rudy, wykop sobie wygodny grób. Trzecie. Nie pokazuj się w knajpie na jeziorze. Widzisz? To jest lokal szkodników. A oni nie lubią, jak pokazują się tam żółtodzioby, takie jak ty.
Indeed, the tavern has bouncers on top of it that I'm gonna show you in a while, and unfortunately saying, oh, I know Mordrag is not gonna get us in, okay? Now I wanna talk to this guy. Wow, Horatio, are you okay?
Co tu robisz? Szukasz kłopotów?
Guys, make sure to say hey, relax, because this affects one of the most important side quests in the game tied to an achievement and 5 strength points.
Spokojnie, jestem tu nowy.
Wyglądasz w porządku. Chociaż nigdy nie wiadomo. Zawsze znajdzie się jakiś nowy, który wyobraża sobie nie wiadomo co.
Co ktoś taki jak ty robi w towarzystwie zbieraczy?
Lee też mnie o to pytał. Nie chcę już walczyć. No, chyba że w obronie własnej. Raz zabiłem człowieka. I jak dla mnie to było o jeden raz za dużo. Zresztą dlatego właśnie trafiłem do tej zapchlonej kolonii.
Jak to się stało?
Zwykła bójka w karczmie. Nie chciałem zabić faceta. Chyba po prostu za mocno
And now he
go
regrets it his
walnąłem.
whole life.
Byłem wtedy kowalem. Najwyraźniej nie doceniłem własnej siły.
So the idea is that Horatio over here was supposed to be a very muscular-looking character, which is kind of lost in the game as everyone here is an incredibly buff, muscular character, right? This is something they did address in the Gothic remake, which I think is fantastic. Anyway, why did he join the new camp?
Dlaczego dołączyłeś właśnie do tego obozu?
Już ci mówię. Do wyboru miałem tylko tych świrów z sekty. A nie uśmiechało mi się pranie mózgu, któremu chcieli mnie poddać. W starym obozie miałem za dużo kłopotów ze strażnikami. A tutaj najemnicy i szkodniki traktują mnie z szacunkiem.
I like new camp
To
more and more.
znaczy, boją się ciebie?
Może. Tak czy inaczej, tutaj znalazłem spokój. Radzę ci pójść w moje ślady.
Good advice, and a way to do that would be to get stronger.
Możesz mnie wyszkolić tak, bym był równie silny jak ty?
Nawet gdybym mógł. Po co ci to?
Self-defense?
Co samoobronę?
Do tego potrzeba szybkości, a nie siły. Myślisz, że gruchotanie kości pomoże ci wieść spokojne życie?
No, but if you look intimidating, maybe you can prevent it altogether. Works for you, no? Anyway, let's not say the first line. I don't think Nameless is that dumb to say something like that, so let's think about it.
Dobre pytanie. Przemyślę to sobie.
And once we find out a reason, we'll complete Horatio the Peasant quest. Horatio, a farmer on the rice fields of the new camp, can teach me how to strike harder, but somehow I haven't found the right answer to his question why yet. And the answer to that is gonna come from a completely unexpected source that's not even gonna update your journal. But don't worry guys, I'm gonna guide you for the bodybuilder achievement and 5 points of strength. By the way, in case you're more of the kind of person to just focus on areas you want to be really good at and not be a jack of all trades like I am, talking about jack of trades, let me open up the character sheet. This is one of the few ways in the game you can increase your strength permanently outside of spending learning points. When it comes to learning strength or dexterity, every teacher in the world can only teach you up to 100, and there are no differences in between the teachers. All of them can teach you up to 100. It's a bit different in the sequel, but here it's like this. If you want to go over 100, you need to save up quests like Horatio the Peasant or some permanent increasing potions after you already spent 90 learning points to reach 100 strength or dexterity. There's never any reason to go with such a high dexterity, because again, that doesn't increase your range damage, but for strength, yes, you do end up dealing more damage. So if you focus on a strength build, you're gonna have the easiest time, but then I recommend holding off of completing a quest like this so that you can go way above 100 and then improve that further via equipable accessories and things like that, okay? Which is what min-maxers of Gothic 1 tend to do. Okay, now, before everyone else picks up and starts working in the rice fields, this is where all the peasants that are supposed to work on the rice fields hang out, and I want to talk to a guy called... Oh, Pok, there you are. Pok? Pok?
Cześć, jestem tu nowy.
Miło zobaczyć nową twarz.
Pewnie jesteś tu już od dawna.
Święta racja, chłopcze. Byłem jednym z pierwszych, którzy tu trafili.
Now the game insinuates he's very old, but he looks very young to me.
W takim razie na pewno dużo wiesz o tym miejscu.
Co nieco. Większość czasu spędzam tutaj, na polu. Pewnie dlatego udało mi się tak długo przeżyć.
What do you mean
Dostajemy
old?
sporo ryżu
You're young.
i trochę gorzały.
You're younger than Nameless.
Może nie jest to wiele, ale mi wystarczy.
Oh, that's fine. You get what you need. You're content.
Dlaczego tu trafiłeś?
Podatki, chłopcze. Podatki. Moja chata była równie pusta jak mój żołądek i po prostu nie mogłem dłużej płacić. No i pewnego dnia schwytali mnie królewscy żołnierze i przywlekli mnie tutaj. Prawdę mówiąc, na zewnątrz wcale nie było mi lepiej. Tutaj przynajmniej nie głoduję. Wcześniej
Sounds like a better
płaciłem
deal.
podatki. Przez całe życie. Ale dla tego sukinsyna w koronie to nie był żaden argument.
Again, serves to illustrate what a state the Kingdom of Myrtana is in. Anyway, let's talk to the other named peasant.
Cześć, jestem tu nowy. Chciałbym się dowiedzieć, co się tu dzieje.
Zapytaj kogoś innego, dobra? Ja tu tylko uprawiam ryż, na innych rzeczach się nie znam. Najchętniej
trouble.
powiedziałbym ryżowemu księciuniowi, żeby sam odwalał swoją brudną robotę.
These guys really remind me of the diggers of the old
Kim
camp.
jest ryżowy książę?
Był jednym z pierwszych ludzi, którzy tutaj trafili. Pomagał w zakładaniu obozu i rozpoczął uprawę ryżu. Dziś jedyne co robi, to obnosi swoje brzuszysko po magazynie. Tłusty wieprz.
So why do you work here?
Skoro tak
And
ci to
listen
nie
closely.
odpowiada, dlaczego tu pracujesz?
To się zdarzyło pierwszego dnia po moim przybyciu. Lewus, jeden z oprychów pracujących dla Ryżowego Księcia, podszedł do mnie i spytał, czy nie mógłbym im pomóc na polu. Powiedziałem jasne. W końcu byłem tu nowy i zależało mi na znalezieniu sobie przyjaciół. Następnego dnia, kiedy ucinałem sobie drzemkę, facet znowu się zjawił. Powiedział, chyba nie chcesz, żeby twoi koledzy odwalali za ciebie całą robotę, co? Powiedziałem mu, że jestem wyczerpany wczorajszą pracą i że potrzebuję odpoczynku. Ale on miał to gdzieś. Złapał mnie za kołnierz i zaciągnął z powrotem na pole. Od tamtej pory codziennie czekał na mnie na progu mojej chaty, dopóki nie nauczyłem się sam wychodzić w pole. Nie chciałem, żeby mnie poturbowali. To banda morderców. Lepiej trzymaj się od nich z daleka.
So, extortion of peasants to start working for free, essentially?
Jak się masz?
Harujemy tu do upadłego, żeby reszta miała co włożyć do garnka.
Indeed.
Kto pilnuje, by praca w polu przebiegała bez przeszkód?
Wszyscy? W zasadzie powinien się tym zajmować Ryżowy Książę. Ale moim zdaniem ten człowiek umie tylko siedzieć w swojej norze i liczyć worki. W każdym razie to on i Homer zapoczątkowali to wszystko.
So Ricelord was one of the OGs who established the camp.
Opowiedz mi o tym obozie.
Obóz jest wypełniony po brzegi najgorszymi szumowinami. Moim zdaniem najemnicy powinni już dawno oczyścić to miejsce ze szkodników. Nie ma z nich żadnego pożytku, tylko same kłopoty.
Okay, guys. Now, before he leaves, oh my god, there he's already leaving. I want you to talk to Balkagan, which is interesting that a novice of the Brotherhood is here. Wow, everyone got stuck there. This is gonna be a party.
Jesteś z obozu sekty, nieprawdaż?
Jesteśmy Bractwem Śniącego, ale tak, pochodzę z obozu na bagnie. Jestem Balkagan. Niech Śniący zawsze będzie z tobą.
And I'm starting to understand why a novice of the Brotherhood is here, recruiting the most unhappy people.
Co tu robisz?
Początkowo przybyłem tutaj, by werbować nowych ludzi do naszego bractwa. Ale ci barbarzyńcy mają w nosie swoje duchowe zbawienie.
I like them
Dlatego
already.
teraz zajmuję się wyłącznie sprzedażą ziela. Palenie ziela to dość popularne zajęcie w tych stronach. Może nawet zbyt popularne. Ledwie nadążam z kolejnymi dostawami.
Sounds like you have your hands full. Let's see what he
Pokaż mi,
sells.
co masz do zaoferowania.
Jak sobie życzysz.
And he has 20 Dream Coal and 20 Northern Dark. Let's keep this in mind. Again, I don't recommend you actually buy any of these. Only green novices.
Dlaczego nie przyślą ci tu kogoś do pomocy?
Miał mi pomagać Bal Izidro, ale on woli spędzać całe dnie w karczmie na jeziorze i wymieniać swoje ziele na ryżówkę. Obawiam się, że uzależnił się od alkoholu. Nie mogę raczej liczyć na jego pomoc.
Okay, I could help you for reward.
Mógłbym ci pomóc w sprzedaży ziela.
Tak duże ładunki ziela mogę powierzyć tylko innym członkom bractwa. Ale mógłbyś pomóc mi w rozdzielaniu prezentów. Jeszcze całkiem spora grupa ludzi nie miała okazji skosztować mojego towaru. Gdyby spróbowali, chcieliby kupować więcej, czyli zyski ze sprzedaży mogłyby wzrosnąć.
Myślałem, że i bez tego ledwie sobie radzisz w pracy.
Zająłem się już problemem Bala Izidro. Wysłałem wiadomość do Kor Kaloma.
Not good for him, but this, my friends, is how Nameless will become a drug pusher.
Co będę z tego miał, jeśli zgodzę się rozdawać twoje prezenty?
Mogę cię wynagrodzić na kilka różnych sposobów. Mogę ci podarować zwoje z magicznymi zaklęciami Śniącego. Albo mogę pomóc ci zostać jednym z nas, jeśli zechcesz. Utrzymuję dobre kontakty z Kor Kalomem i Bal Tajonem. To bliscy przyjaciele samego Iberiona, naszego wielkiego mistrza. Wreszcie mogę ci zapłacić rudą, jeśli tak wolisz. 100 bryłek powinno wystarczyć, czyż nie?
In this case, ore is the worst reward, but you don't have to make that decision now.
Dobrze, daj mi to ziele. Komu mam je rozdawać?
Na pewno znajdzie się wielu chętnych. Porozmawiaj z ludźmi. Tylko każdemu z nich dawaj jedną porcję. I jeszcze coś. Jeśli pozwolisz, by ktoś odebrał ci ziele albo sam je wypalisz, naszą umowę uznam za nieważną.
Oczywiście.
Excellent. Now,
Pokaż mi, co masz do zaoferowania.
Jak sobie życzysz.
he still has the same inventory on him. However, what he gave us was 10 green novices. Again, this will be important later on. Now we can lie and say we shared out of the week.
Rozdałem już całe ziele.
Nie przyszli do mnie jeszcze żadni nowi klienci. Musisz rozdzielić jeszcze trochę ziela.
Yeah, we could start with one, for example. So there is no in-game tracker. You're just gonna have to remember after you handed out 10, or potentially more, to come back to Balkagan. Interestingly enough, once you got the canvassing of customers quest, from now on, for rest of the game, any generic rogue or mercenary you talk to in the new camp, you can sell any wheat to Green Novice, Northern Dark, Dreamcall for 10 ore in your inventory. Doesn't matter if you got it from a quest, doesn't matter if you purchased Green Novice for 8 ore and sell for 10, so for profit, or if you stole it from somewhere, you are from now on always able to make money in the new camp. And the way this works is that you get to do this once per day for every generic NPC. Then the next day, it will all reset and you can do it all over again. And when I found out you can also do this in Gothic Remake, I was very happy because there, 10 ore is a treasure trove. There's a very strict economy in that game, but here it's not as worth it. Honestly, it's gonna be a drop in the ocean compared to how much money we're gonna make by the end of the game, but still, I like to maximize profits, it's a lot of fun. Now, the journal entry says the Novice Balkagan gave me 10 stalks of green Novice wheat, which I have to distribute in the new camp. So let's start doing that right now. And the game will keep the track for you. There should be roughly 4 mercenaries around this watchtower we could deliver the wheat to. So let me show you their unique lines. And guys, don't touch this winch even on PC. It now works, but the mercenaries will attack you. Yeah.
Mam przy sobie trochę bagiennego ziela. Może chcesz je kupić?
Czemu nie? Dam ci za nie 10 bryłek rudy. Pogadaj jeszcze z resztą chłopaków. Oni pewnie też będą zainteresowani.
Indeed. Now eventually I'll start skipping these lines because they're the same. Given the
Mam przy
voice
sobie
actors
trochę bagiennego ziela. Może chcesz je kupić?
Czemu nie?
Yeah, this is exactly the same. And look, we already made 20 ore. Now there should be, I think, 1 or 2 more mercenaries up there, but what I'm also very interested in are the chests, of course, guys. And these are easy to rob even when you're playing on console. So, left, right, right, left, right. I think one of them should have a... Oh, Rider's Bow, cool. Which is what we're wielding right now. We're gonna upgrade very soon. Then right, left, left, right. And just some generic food, not all that interesting. Okay, if you want, you can take a peek at the top of the new camp watchtower, and I think it's absolutely worth it to just go for all the vistas in the game. Again, Nameless will disappear like at the top of the old camp tower, but you can see the sprawling rice fields down there and the lake, some tower all the way in the distance, and if you look the other way, the cave entering the new camp, the lake pub and a waterfall and the other side of the lake, which we're gonna investigate soon, and even a path in the distance leading to the so-called free mine. I didn't save, I just realized. Okay, we almost died. You never know what distance Nameless is gonna die from.
Chcesz trochę bagiennego ziela?
Jasne. Masz tu 10 bryłek rudy. Jakbyś miał jeszcze kiedyś trochę ziela, no wiesz.
And guys, in case you're wondering, no mercenary or rogue
Możesz mnie
is ever gonna refuse to buy this. So, isn't this just a dream job? Pushing drugs, a dream job. Well, to be fair, swamp wheat, assuming it's like wheat, is way less harmful than just alcohol, right? That's not to say it's good, but, you know, we live in a society with certain double standards. But anyway, let's now... Ah, this is the 4th mercenary.
Mam czemu nie?
Same lines we had before. And now I'm gonna save the game and let's make it to the entrance of the new camp. Okay? Because there should be 3 generic rogues we can sell to, and we'll be at 7 out of 10 for Balkagan's quest. Now, I'm in no rush to complete the quest. In fact, we're not gonna complete that quest today. I'm gonna hold off of completing it because this quest has very severe implications on Cunning Scheme and True Believer achievements, okay? So, the reward from this quest will allow you to accomplish one or the other, which is why they're mutually exclusive.
Wyglądasz mi na kogoś, komu przydałoby się trochę bagiennego ziela.
A masz je przy sobie? Dam ci 10 bryłek rudy. Wracaj, kiedy tylko zechcesz, bracie.
Oh, I'll be back. Don't you worry about that. I have enough to keep the whole camp supplied for weeks.
Mam przy sobie trochę bagiennego ziela. Może chcesz je kupić?
Jasne, masz tu 10 bryłek rudy. Zajrzyj do mnie jeszcze, jak będziesz miał tego więcej, dobra?
I think a majority of the weed we have is actually from the old camp's castle, which sect camp sold to them and we're now selling to new camp, which is just hilarious.
Chcesz trochę bagiennego ziela?
Dam ci za nie 10 bryłek rudy. Proszę. Jak będziesz miał jeszcze trochę na zbyciu, zajrzyj do mnie koniecznie.
Okay, guys. Now, remember last time we were at the rice fields, it was nighttime. Now it's daytime. I think 9 AM constitutes your usual working time, right? So pretty much all the peasants are now working the fields until the sun will set, poor guys, but some of them prefer it that way, you know, not everyone is a hero or a fighter or ass-kicking badass, some people just, most people, want to make it. And this is a way to do it, like I completely get that. Now I want to avoid Lefty for a while, because he is really eager to talk to us. I just want to climb here, but... oh, thank goodness gracious. See, I want to talk to Rice Lord now during daytime. So...
Troszczysz się o pola ryżowe, czyż nie?
Czemu pytasz? Szukasz pracy?
Yeah? Give me a job?
Znajdzie się dla mnie jakieś zajęcie?
Porozmawiaj z Lewusem. Kręci się zwykle na prawo od szopy.
And Lefty will talk to you automatically even without this conversation. By the way, on consoles, you will be able to open up a trade interface with the Rice Lord, and you'll be able to, and I wrote this down, to trade for 40 ore, plus 10 HP increasing ring, which is absolutely worthless, and that's essentially it's some consumables, right? We will get all this for beating him up anyway later on in today's episode, so don't worry about the trade interface being missing. Lefty!
Hej, jesteś tu nowy, nie? Potrzebuję kogoś, kto zaniesie wodę naszym zbieraczom ryżu. W ten sposób od razu poznasz kilku ludzi. Zainteresowany?
Notorious quest. Now if you say maybe later...
Może innym razem.
Innym razem mogę cię już nie potrzebować. Zdecyduj się, chcesz mi pomóc, czy nie?
Now I'll be honest, I don't remember if we say take it to the water to the peasants yourself. I think he'll attack us. Let's instead try to make friends. We're new here, right?
Jasne. Chętnie wam pomogę.
Świetnie. Idź do ryżowego księcia. On da ci wodę i powie ci, co należy zrobić.
But guys, remember Rufus's words.
Lewus, jeden z oprychów pracujących dla ryżowego księcia, podszedł do mnie i spytał, czy nie mógłbym im pomóc na polu. Powiedziałem jasne. W końcu byłem tu nowy i zależało mi na znalezieniu sobie przyjaciół. Powiedziałem mu, że jestem wyczerpany wczorajszą pracą i że potrzebuję odpoczynku. Ale on miał to gdzieś. Złapał mnie za kołnierz i zaciągnął z powrotem na pole. Od tamtej pory codziennie czekał na mnie na progu mojej chaty, dopóki nie nauczyłem się sam wychodzić w pole.
He tried to help just like we did in this situation, which is why I wanted to talk to the peasants first, and then Lefty came bothering him every single day.
Przysyła mnie Lewus.
Tak? I co powiedział?
Mam zanieść wodę zbieraczom ryżu?
Dobra. Masz tu tuzin butelek. To jakieś 2 razy więcej niż liczba zbieraczy.
No,
Więc postaraj
it's half,
się
not
rozdzielić się
twice. What are you...
sprawiedliwie.
Okay, I don't know if this is a bug or it's some localization issue, but if we check the quest entry, water carrier for Lefty. Lefty, a rogue from the new camp who is really full of himself, wants me to take water to the peasants in the rice fields. Although it's probably quite a stupid task, I agreed, because maybe I can make some friends there. I have to get the water from the so-called Rice Lord. The Rice Lord gave me a dozen water bottles. And yet, there are roughly 26 peasants or so overall. I didn't actually count them all, but yeah, so we have less than half of the peasants. I think this reflects just how little care Rice Lord has for these people, but I want to give water to every single peasant we encounter. Now, thankfully on PC version specifically, you can do that and keep asking for water indefinitely. So I'm gonna do it 3 times to ensure we have enough water, and of course you can exploit this for infinite money glitch. Absolutely, I mean, water's sell value is, you can sell water for, I think it will be 1 or something like that. And again, the journal will re-update with the same entry that the Rice Lord gave you water, okay? But I think 3 times is enough for me to actually give it to every single peasant, so let's do that. And just like selling wheat, these lines will be repeated soon.
Przysyła mnie Lewus. Przyniosłem ci wodę.
Piękne dzięki! Jeszcze trochę, a zacząłbym pić z kałuży.
Let's hope I will not miss a single one of these guys.
Przysyła mnie Lewus. Przyniosłem ci wodę.
O, dzięki. Umieram z pragnienia.
And they only started. Whew. Must be frustrating to be so thirsty, yet you're constantly walking in what looks similar to water, making you even more thirsty, but you cannot actually drink that crap.
Przysyła mnie Lewus. Przyniosłem wam wodę.
Dzięki, kolego. Jeszcze trochę, a zacząłbym pić z kałuży.
And you know what? Whilst we're talking to Horatio, let's maybe revisit that moral
Przemyślałem
issue.
sobie to wszystko jeszcze raz.
No i? Wymyśliłeś coś lepszego?
No.
Nie.
Tak myślałem.
Don't worry, this doesn't actually prevent you from doing it later. Okay, we haven't got this peasant yet, right?
Przysyła mnie Lewus. Przyniosłem ci wodę.
And again, the peasants move around quite a lot.
Dzięki, chłopcze. Piękne dzięki.
So we might miss some, but hopefully not. I love the scarecrow they put here. Are scarecrows really needed at rice fields? Do birds or other vermin attack
Przysyła mnie Lewus. Przyniosłem
rice
ci wodę.
fields? Maybe yes, I don't actually know.
Piękne dzięki.
Okay, we heard these lines, and essentially I'm gonna start skipping all these from now on, although occasionally the biggest issue I have with this
O, dzięki.
is that you need to wait for them to finish their drinking animation, and I don't know why they made this decision, and in Gothic Remake they did it the same way. As a poking a little fun at how annoying this quest is, although it's much faster there than it is
Przysyła
here.
mnie Lewus. Przyniosłem ci wodę.
In cases where the water animation starts as Nameless is speaking, I don't mind, but the fact that
Dzięki, chłop.
afterwards we still need to wait for them to finish the drink. Why? Anyway.
Przysyła mnie Lewus.
Like I said, this is a
Przyniosłem
notorious
ci wodę.
quest. One of the reasons why the runtime of this video is gonna be rather increased.
Piękne.
But again, it kind of grounds you in the story and the place where it
Przysyła
takes
mnie
place.
Lewus. Przyniosłem ci wodę.
And the dreary life these peasants go through. And it's really interesting because it's not that different
Dzięki.
from Old Camp's diggers. This is by design. In New Camp, no one cares about you, and depends where you land. If you're strong or if you're weak, you're gonna be exploited like this.
Przysyła mnie Lewus. Przynoszę ci wodę.
Dzięki, stary. W gębie mi już zaschło.
I didn't skip Rufus's lines because they're technically unique, but yeah, you get the gist, guys. Okay, we're slowly working our way down. Oh, I hope the game will not crash on me.
Przysyła mnie Lewus.
O, dzięki.
Nameless went for his fists because I accidentally pressed the tilt button. I think he's getting fed up with this task. Okay. Now we should also encounter Pok, and with him we're gonna have a
Przysyła mnie Lewus.
somewhat interesting
Przyniosłem ci
conversation,
wodę.
which also is a little bit sad, but fascinating to me.
Piękne.
Honestly, the more time we spend here, the less I can differentiate visually between the peasants and the scarecrows. They're looking more and more emaciated. Okay. Oh, there's quite a few there. Good thing we asked for the water 3 times then.
Dzięki, chłop.
Okay, you can thank me by not keeping me waiting for longer, but okay. One thing I also appreciate about Gothic 2 is that all eating drinking animations are roughly 3 to 4 times faster. And they can be interrupted with when you start a dialogue, you don't have to wait for
Przysyła mnie
NPCs to
Lewus.
do it.
Przyniosłem ci wodę.
This is gonna be especially annoying over time as we play the game and we start selling wheat that we'll be carrying to rogues and mercenaries. Anyway, let's ask him if he's
Wszystko w
okay.
porządku?
Miło zobaczyć nową twarz.
Czekaj, my już kiedyś rozmawialiśmy.
Nie, to niemożliwe. Widzę cię pierwszy raz w życiu.
Jasne.
Again, Pok is,
Przysyła mnie
you know,
Lewus.
supposed to be
Mam
very
dla ciebie
old.
trochę wody.
But again, they chose the incorrect model over here because this guy looks so young, like he's in his prime, you know?
Chłopcze. Piękne dzięki.
Okay, now there are 3 peasants here. One of them we gave 4. No, we gave it to this guy. So grey hair and black clothes. Let's remember that.
Przysyła mnie Lewus.
Okay. And I think after these 2 we are done. Maybe there's someone in the distance. We'll see. Okay, grey hair, black clothes.
Przysyła mnie Lewus. Przyniosłem ci wodę.
I kind of wish there would have been an achievement for actually giving it to every single peasant on a given day.
Przysyła mnie Lewus. Przyniosłem
But
ci
no,
wodę.
that's just my OCD. Again, guys, you are done after 12 deliveries. You don't even need to deliver it to main characters like Rufus, Spock, or Horatio, or anything like that, okay? And I think there should be the final gentleman who looks very thirsty.
Przysyła mnie Lewus. Przyniosłem ci wodę.
Dzięki, chłopcze. Piękne dzięki.
Okay, and now, even without getting your journal updated, when you approach Lefty, listen to this.
Hej, ty! Dobra robota. Może będą z ciebie ludzie. Widzę, że jesteś wprost stworzony do tego zadania. Od tej pory będziesz to robił codziennie. Bierz się do roboty.
The bastard. So all we got for this was miserable 100 experience points. I mean, I guess at the beginning any experience you get without fighting is valuable, but still. And now look at this, although it's probably I don't believe it. After I distribute the water everywhere, Lefty really wants me to do the water carrying every day. I think this idiot needs to be told a few things. Here's the thing, guys. If you just ignore Lefty, you wake up the next day, nothing's gonna happen because you have the entire next day to again redeliver 12 bottles of water. And everything's gonna be fine. You're not, however, gonna get additional experience for that. You're just not gonna get attacked by Lefty. So, if you wait for 2 days and don't deliver any water in the day in between, Lefty's gonna attack you. Or, we can settle things like man. Ooh, testosterone. I'm just being facetious, guys. So, let's now tell him, from now on, you can carry the water yourself.
Od tej pory możesz sam sobie biegać z tą wodą.
Czyżby? A co, masz coś lepszego do roboty? Chyba muszę ci przypomnieć, kto tu jest szefem. Dobra, dobra!
And I'm immediately gonna run. Guys, the reason why I'm putting distance between myself and Lefty is so that the Rice Lord and the thugs do not interfere.
Za moich czasów walczono jak należy.
Fantastic. My goodness gracious. And the whole reason I wanted to do it now, guys, is the real treasure, the longbows we found along the way. This, my friends, is the most powerful weapon you can get outside of beating up named NPCs in Chapter 1. It is incredible. Let me show you what I mean. We have 24 dexterity, so we met the 20 requirement. 40 range
Nie
damage.
pożyjesz dość długo, żeby zdążyć tego pożałować.
Not only is 40 a lot, but almost no one has any arrows protection, meaning especially with critical hits, which are not all that rare since we are already trained with bows, we're gonna make short work of one particular strong monster and one particularly strong mercenary in today's episode. Anyway, my favorite dialogue goes here.
Puściłeś mi niezłe baty, stary. To była dobra walka, ale już się skończyła.
Co słychać, przyjacielu?
Człowieku, czego chcesz?
Ah, the peasants look thirsty.
Zbieracze wyglądają na spragnionych.
Zajmę się tym. Nie ma obawy.
So guys, again, if you were to fight Lefty right here, I think given our level, the low-level thugs wouldn't interfere, they're just level 4 or something, but Rice Lord would. And whilst I do want to fight the Rice Lord, I want to do that at a more appropriate time, okay? So guys, this is fantastic. We got experience for delivering water, for beating up Lefty, and for telling him to go F himself, and we got his longbow. We also got a weapon called Bloodfly Sting, which is not at all a bad weapon if you don't have the battle sword purchased from Skip in the Old Camp's castle. But it's gonna get even better, okay? Now, we heard about two people who established the new camp, the Rice Lord, and the second one is right here, Homer. Not a storyteller behind the Odyssey story, no, but just the same name.
Szukasz czegoś?
Szukam pęknięć w tamie. Chyba jakiś topielec podgryza jej fundamenty. Paskuda uszkadza zębami i pazurami kamienie i drewniane pale pod wodą. Jeśli nie przestanie, całą tamę trafi szlak.
Indeed, dam is what we're stepping on right now.
Czy to ty zbudowałeś tę tamę?
Tak, zbudowałem ją dawno temu, gdy nowy obóz dopiero powstawał. Oczywiście wszyscy pomagali, ale to ja nadzorowałem budowę.
Now guys, if you offer to help, you'll get no reward other than experience.
Może mogę ci jakoś pomóc?
Jasne, spraw, żeby ta bestia przestała podżerać moją tamę.
Gdzie mogę ją znaleźć?
Rozejrzyj się po drugiej stronie jeziora. Nikt tam nigdy nie zagląda. Założę się, że tam ma swoje leże.
Now I like how the game's dialogue keeps it a mystery. What could that beast be? Unfortunately, you open up your quest log and it's immediately spoiled. It's a lurker. Lurker at the dam. Homer told me that a lurker is knowing at the dam. If I manage to stop it, I could repair the dam as well. The lurker must have its nesting place somewhere at the secluded side of the reservoir. Calling it reservoir, I mean it functionally is now, the whole lake. So they can irrigate the rice fields down below, which wasn't always the case, and I find this absolutely fascinating. Now, guess how we're gonna take down a lurker now. We can do it the hard way, like we did in the previous episode, or we can use a longbow. On our way there, I want to show you a couple of things. Again, the tantalizing pub at the center of the lake. I love the Pueblo-style architecture of New Camp, it's really great. But yeah, this is where we talk to the peasants in the morning. I didn't get the opportunity to show you the inside of this shack. All it has are a couple of beds you can rest in and recover your health if you're so inclined, but time is very precious for me, so I'm not gonna do that. And you can skirt the edges of this lakeside to reach the other side. There's something I want to show you. I think I talked about swimming briefly in our first episode, that you can swim normal speed, you can also hold walk to do slow swimming. But you can turn, you can also go back. This is Lara Croft essentially, but you cannot side swim on water surface like Lara Croft can. Anyway, going for a dive, you'll find an interesting piece of the New Camp history. There are 2 sunken huts over here, but they're both empty, right? I just wanted to show it to you. The other sunken hut, however, has a little air pocket, which is good, because otherwise we would have drowned. Nameless? You don't need to get stuck, you know that? Please? Thank you. Now, the oxygen bar disappears when you're on surface, but that doesn't mean it replenished fully, which is a bit of a flaw with the game. I feel it should show the oxygen bar unless it's full, you know, as it replenishes. Again, coming back to Tomb Raiders, they did it well. But yeah, it means that they started very early on building the new camp over here in this large hollow. But then they realized, hold on a sec, we can instead irrigate the fields out there. So the whole place sunk before it was probably really inhabited after the 2 huts were built, and they decided to hollow out the cavern entrance where the new camp proper is. Again, it's just pure visual storytelling. It's not explicitly told to you, but you can piece the clues together for a bit of a history lesson, which is fantastic, and a uniquely named lurker. If we land a critical, we'll make a very short work of him. Guys, the wonders of Longbow. I love this weapon, and you get your standard Lurker skin, Lurker's Claws, and damn Lurker's Claws, somehow he has 3 of them now, which have double the value, but guys, do not sell them until you show them to Homer, okay? That's just an important thing. And also, I wanted to show you, I can show you from here as well, although the drawing distance doesn't really help here. There is a plateau next to the waterfall where mercenaries are practicing one-handed weapons. We just can't really see it from here, okay? Now, in Gothic Remake, interestingly enough, Homer is, I think, the only NPC. Again, I am still in Chapter 1, but from what I've seen so far, he can teach you a so-called swimming skill. So, whilst you can do some clumsy swimming by default, that skill will increase your oxygen bar and allow you to sprint swim on surface or underwater, which is interesting, and makes inaccessible areas accessible. Which is cool because it implies this guy is a professional diver and he built the damn thing while submerged underwater. It's absolutely fascinating.
Zabiłem bestię.
Świetnie, ściągnąłem tu kilku ludzi ryżowego księcia, którzy pomogli mi naprawić uszkodzenia. Nareszcie mogę się porządnie wyspać.
Okay, cool. And that's it. We can ask Homer again. Everything okay with the dam?
Z tamą wszystko w porządku?
Mocna jak skała, nic jej nie zaszkodzi.
That's it. They already managed to fix it whilst we were gone. They had a lot of trust in our skills to kill the beast, I guess. Now, amongst the completed quests... Oh yeah, water carrier for Lefty. I made it clear to Lefty that he better not annoy me with his water carrying theory. Some people only learn through pain, similar to Harlock in Swamp Camp, and then Lurker at the dam. The Lurker is done with, Homer can sleep quietly again, and if you want, you can sell the dam Lurker's claws for an increased value rather compared to normal claws, but I want to keep it as a souvenir of the quest, you know? Now, before we enter the new camp, again, I talked about this plateau, but like I said, we need to toughen up before we deal with the people in the new camp, and we already defeated Lefty, but it's gonna get so much harder. First of all, I think what these boys could use is getting high whilst practicing.
Chcesz trochę
Yes, jakbyś...
And from now on, I'm just gonna be skipping all these weed selling lines. Thankfully, you don't have to wait for some smoke animation like when delivering water, so this is an easy affair. And cord. I talked about cord being an alternative, much cheaper alternative to Sketty. Let me show you what I mean.
Chciałbym nauczyć się walki jednoręcznym orężem.
Nie ma sprawy, ale to cię będzie kosztowało 30 bryłek rudy. Może być.
Now, you might be surprised he mentioned 30 and now you see 50, but the thing is, Corder is referring to turning you from untrained into trained, but we've already done that with Sketty. So, whereas Sketty would now ask for 150 or for mastery, Cord only asks for 50, so we are saving up money like this. Now, notice how when we are trained, we have 5% critical chance. Then we also get an entry. Cord the mercenary can teach me how to fight one-handed weapons. During the daytime, he can be found the rocky plateau by the lake. And, oh, we forgot about this one. Balka gun sells stalks, a weed of rogues and mercenaries in the new camp. Okay, now, again, let's just recap. The speed with which we draw a weapon, now left, right, and then forward combo. You'd think this would be the place they would tolerate having your weapon out, but oh well. Now let me show you what happens if we learn mastery.
Naucz mnie, jak sprawniej posługiwać się jednoręczną bronią.
Dobrze.
Podstawy już znasz. Nieznaczne opuszczenie broni zwiększy siłę twojego pierwszego ciosu. Musisz wykorzystać siłę bezwładności, pamiętasz? Świetnie. Teraz nauczysz się lepiej balansować ciałem. Po zadaniu 2 ciosów wykonaj obrót. To powinno zmylić twojego przeciwnika i pozwolić ci wyjść na dobrą pozycję do następnego ataku. Wtedy wyprowadź następne cięcie z prawej strony i znowu do przodu. Pamiętaj, trening czyni mistrza, więc najlepiej weź się od razu do roboty.
Okay, guys, and that's all we can do with Cord, essentially. What changed on the character sheet? Well, we spent 20 learning points for this, but our mastery means we now have 10% melee chance. This is very important later on in the game if, like me, you're gonna be doing Jack of all trades playthrough with generally very low strength. Critical hits will be the only way you'll be able to take on a troll, but later about that, okay? So this is the first important thing. And now, I want to take my time with this. I want to show you what moves we've actually learned. So let me put some distance between us. I think right here will do the job.
Nieznaczne opuszczenie broni zwiększy siłę twojego pierwszego ciosu.
Look at the speed with which we ready our weapon. Remember how scared we were whenever we would see someone having their weapon like this? You could immediately tell you have no chance. Well, now we are like this. What's more, look at the blinding speed of these side hits, and we'll be putting that to very good practice today. And what's more, the full combo. 1, 2.
Teraz nauczysz się lepiej balansować ciałem. Po zadaniu 2 ciosów wykonaj obrót. To powinno zmylić twojego przeciwnika i pozwolić ci wyjść na dobrą pozycję do następnego ataku. Wtedy wyprowadź następne cięcie z prawej strony.
3, 4. I feel like spinning is a really stupid thing to do in combat. Like, why? But my god, is it cool. And they make this crisscross slash, and this still counts as just 1 hit, not 2 hits, even if it looks differently, okay? And of course, you can just go left or right, and then forward, and then still left or right. After the second forward attack, you can no longer combo side hits, just like previously. But speed is everything, and also the way the weapon is carried, it has somewhat longer reach using these side hits than it did before. So it extends your reach to keep your opponent far more away from your body, and it's faster, and you get the critical chance. My god, it's excellent, and you will be able to stun lock some enemies like this. So my friends, let me welcome you to New Camp. I'll be honest, it doesn't wow me quite like in Gothic Remake now, but my god, I love this place, it's my favorite. Let's talk to the mercenaries in the Mercenary Enclave.
Kim jesteś?
Nazywam się Torlow. Brałem udział w buncie załogi na pokładzie królewskiego okrętu.
Grumpy
To
Sailor.
chyba nie był najlepszy pomysł. Większa część załogi była po stronie kapitana. W ten sposób wylądowałem tutaj.
I'm sorry guys, I just imagined the mutiny where it was Torlow telling the captain, you need to surrender the vessel, and the captain was, yeah, who's gonna make me? You and what army? Me and these guys. And then Torlow turns around and there's no one. That's how I imagine it went.
Chciałbym do was dołączyć.
I przyjmuję tylko najlepszych ludzi. Możesz mi wierzyć. I dopóki nie będziesz jednym z nich, radzę ci dobrze żyć z Laresem i jego zgrają. Jeśli chcesz dobrą radę, chłopcze, spróbuj zwinąć coś ze starego obozu albo starej kopalni. Kiedy chłopcy uznają, że nie przepadasz za Gomezem, przestaną ci sprawiać kłopoty.
A jak mam to zrobić?
Najpierw musisz zyskać ich zaufanie, a potem będziesz mógł ich zrobić w konia.
This is not unlike the advice that the rogue at the entrance of the new camp gave us. Give to new camp something precious to the old camp to win their trust. Other hint that Torlow gave us, only the best are accepted amongst mercenaries, and guys, this isn't just a flavor text. The requirement to join them is to be a master of one-handed weapons. And we've already pulled that off at level 8, and what's more, you need to also be level 10 before you can join the mercenaries and be a rogue. It's a bit tricky, but you can absolutely join them in chapter 1, which I believe there is an achievement for, I think also for Gothic Remake, not just the classic version here. So again, a lot of the flavor text is genuine gameplay advice, which I find absolutely fantastic. So anyway, now let's sell wheat to all the mercenaries next to Torlow. And again, the new camp itself, you can already tell there's the Rice Lord with his thugs and peasants. It's a separate gang from the rogues belonging to Laris's gang, which is a separate gang from Lee's mercenaries who work with water mages. So essentially you have these 3 factions in the new camp that are kind of holding together just via the shared hatred of the old camp and their escape plan having something to do with your mount, which I think is interesting.
Wiesz, dokąd leziesz?
Nope.
Nie, dokąd?
To droga do siedziby naszego przywódcy, Lee.
Co muszę zrobić, żebyś pozwolił mi zobaczyć się z nim?
Nic,
Well, it's
tu
clear.
nie stary obóz, a Lee to nie Gomez. On nie musi chować się za plecami całej armii siepaczy. Sam potrafi o siebie zadbać. My jesteśmy tu tylko na wypadek, gdyby nas potrzebował.
Interesting. So rather than stopping people by default, they let everyone enter League because they think he can handle himself. But just in case there's trouble, he can call for help. Which is a very different philosophy again from the old camp. I love that. Auric is a generic mercenary.
Mam czemu nie?
I guess he was supposed to be involved something, but it ended up being a cut content. Anyway, let's now talk to Lee, the leader of the mercenaries, who we don't know much about at this point.
Jesteś szefem najemników, tak?
Zgadza się, chłopcze.
Czym zajmuje się najemnik w służbie magów?
To proste. Pilnuje rudy i broni magów.
Sounds easy.
Od czasu do czasu magowie zlecają nam jakieś zadania specjalne.
Sounds fun. So, I want to join you.
Chciałbym do was dołączyć.
Odbiło ci?
Odbiło
Myślisz,
ci.
że przyjmuję każdego włóczęgę, który się do mnie zgłosi? Musisz najpierw spędzić trochę czasu w naszym obozie. Będę cię miał na oku. Zobaczymy, na co cię stać.
Okay, so at least we got Lee's attention, right? But what's interesting is that you don't really know this, but once we find the second volume to the Battle of Verand book, we'll be able to learn about General Lee. This guy was one of the top echelons of the Kingdom of Myrtana, but again, Nameless probably doesn't know that at this point. So, let's go to the Magicians, why not?
Stać! Nikt nie przejdzie bez podania hasła!
Okay, how about some weed instead?
Chcę...
Look at them. Look at them. I'm sure after this, they're gonna let us enter. When has that ever gone wrong, huh?
Nie będę się powtarzał! Ani kroku dalej!
I thought getting them high would make them cool off, but oh well. Oh, one thing I forgot to show you is a book stand. I think the very first one in the game we can interact with. I was so excited as a kid when I found these. I thought, oh, what are we gonna learn? Nothing. These book stands don't do anything in Gothic 1, which is unfortunate. They remedied that in Gothic 2 and, of course, Archolos, Chronicles of Myrtana. But in the first game, we'll see how Gothic Remake handles this, and maybe you guys already know and are able to tell me. Okay, Blade is just like Auric, another named generic mercenary. Nothing to him, really. There's also gonna be a rogue like that named Bruce, I think. Okay. Oh.
Hej, nowa twarz!
Kim jesteś?
Nazywam się Gorn. Jestem najemnikiem w służbie magów.
Okay. What does the mercenaries do, although we already asked Lee that?
Czym się zajmują najemnicy?
Lee zawarł z magami umowę. Zatrudnia najlepszych wojowników z całej kolonii. Czyli nas. Pilnujemy, żeby nikt nie przeszkadzał kretom w pracy i dbamy o bezpieczeństwo magów. Magowie natomiast przygotowują plan, który pozwoli się nam stąd wyrwać. Jako wynagrodzenie otrzymujemy trochę rudy.
Again, this sounds like so much fun.
Co mam
Blowing
zrobić, żeby
stuff up.
zostać
I wanna join
członkiem
them.
nowego obozu?
Musisz trochę popracować nad swoimi umiejętnościami bojowymi, zanim Lee zgodzi się cię przyjąć. Nieważne, w jakiej broni się specjalizujesz, byleś był w tym dobry. Oprócz tego powinieneś mieć chociaż ogólne pojęcie o życiu w kolonii, układach między obozami i takie tam. Jeśli nie interesują cię inne obozy, spróbuj na początek dołączyć do szkodników. Na zostanie najemnikiem jeszcze przyjdzie czas.
Okay, and where
Czy
can I
w obozie
sleep?
są jeszcze wolne miejsca? Czy będę musiał wykopać kogoś z jego chaty?
Chyba będziesz musiał. Jeśli naprawdę chcesz to zrobić, zacznij od krzykacza. Złapał dla siebie chatę przy samym wejściu do jaskini. Była pusta, ale tak naprawdę należała do nas.
Nas?
No nas, najemników. Najemnicy i szkodniki starają się nie włazić sobie w drogę. Ludzie Laresa nie mają wstępu do tej części obozu. W sumie to drobiazg, ale sukinsyn nie zapytał nawet o pozwolenie. Tym szkodnikom nie można pozwolić na zbyt wiele, bo zrobią się nie do wytrzymania.
And this is what I talked about.
Do zobaczenia.
New Camp isn't one faction. There are in fact multiple factions over here. So, this gave us a quest, Shrike's Hut, which is about to become our hut. Gaunt the Mercenary told that Shrike had taken a hut of the mercenaries without asking. Since I've asked Gaunt, none of the mercenaries will interfere if I can convince Shrike of getting another hut. Now, let's see how convincing Shrike will go.
Co słychać?
Spadaj!
Yeah, as expected. So,
Nuda.
Nuda. He just said boring. Okay, so that's about it. Whilst Shrike is gonna wake up, let's sell some wheat to these fellas. Oh, I also want to check the Sting Mace, how powerful it is compared to Bloodfly Sting. I think weaker? Yeah, 25, 26, 1 point of difference. Lefty's weapon was better. But we have the Longbow, nothing else matters.
Nie pożyjesz dość długo, żeby zdążyć tego pożałować. Ciągle szukasz guza?
Can you get lost, please?
Zejdź mi z oczu.
Porozmawiamy innym razem.
Fantastic. Now, Shrike's hut is ours.
Hej, ty!
However, he doesn't know that yet. So he's gonna be like, hey, you. But once we go out
Masz szczęście.
and his behavior
Już miałem
resets,
wyklepać ci buźkę.
he will walk far away, so he'll never ever again even notice that you are entering the hut, which is interesting way to implement this. And we can notify Gorn of this. Wait, that mercenary is getting angry? Oh my god.
Niektórzy nigdy się nie nauczą.
Krzykacz przeniósł się już do innej chaty.
Easiest quest ever.
Świetnie. Przed chwilą Torlow powiedział, że zamierza pokazać temu chłoptasiowi, gdzie jest jego miejsce.
Chyba nigdy nie.
Okay, and that's it.
Do zobaczenia.
What's more interesting is actually the journal entry. I was able to convince Shrike to get another hut. I'm really curious what Gorn will have to say to that. Gorn was really amused that I kicked Shrike out of his hut. I think he's an honest guy, tough but fair. I should stick to him in the future. So, Nameless took liking to Gorn, and it seems Gorn feels the same way. Look at his name being green, right? He even has a unique greeting whenever we finish a conversation, which is not a coincidence. Now guys, I want to introduce you to the main attraction of the new camp, the ore mound at the very center of the cave. And I want to show you something really cool here. You can see the absolutely ginormous pile of ore with a few small nuggets you'll be able to pick up later on in the game, and also the runestones around here. None of these I recognize, but this one. Guys, this symbol is in the Alchemia Interactive logo, I think at the very bottom, the one that looks like a spider. I'm curious to now compare it to Gothic Remake to see if the other symbols are also used next to the ore mound or if they are reference to some other projects they might be involved in. But I think it's really interesting. What do you think it means? Curious about your opinion. So, let's now talk to the magician over here. Kronos is one of the most important people here.
Witaj, magu.
Niech błogosławieństwo Adanosa zawsze będzie z tobą. Mogę ci pomóc zwiększyć twoje magiczne moce lub zaopatrzyć cię w kilka pożytecznych przedmiotów. Co mogę dla ciebie zrobić?
Okay, so what he said corresponds with the journal entries. Kronos can help me increase my mana. I can find him at the grid above the big ore mound day and night. Or Kronos sells magic items such as runes, scrolls, and rings. I can find him at the grid above the big ore mound day and night. So same as Balkadar in the sect camp or Torres in the castle of the old camp. So, I'm always surprised how willing the magicians are to increase anyone's magic
Potrzebuję
power,
większej mocy
even
magicznej.
their enemies.
Mogę ci pokazać, jak zwiększyć twoje zdolności magiczne. Jak je wykorzystasz, zależy już tylko od ciebie.
But of course, they're keeping the rune circle knowledge just to the initiates of the circle. Now, I want to trade, so...
Poszukuję magicznych ksiąg.
Okay, I want overview of the new camp, I want Ring of Power, screw HP increasing ones, I want the Dexterity Ring, I want the mana bonus. We'll be able to cast some spells after we increase our mana pool with accessories like this. And then look, new runes for us, Ice Bolt and Ice Block, more on that in a sec. And I also want Word of Gods. The First Circle of Magic, that's the book we've been missing, because Torres only sell second and third for whatever reason. And now, okay, we have lots of stuff to sell. This is a good opportunity to offload the rusty two-hander, but it's the best two-handed weapon we have, so I want to keep it. And I'm gonna get rid of these. We're soon gonna get something better than Bloodfly Sting, which is why I'm doing that. Okay, we don't need any dexterity accessories to equip those, so we can sell worse bows. And we can sell a lot of claws to get closer to this sweet, sweet number. And we'll be checking out the books, don't you worry, guys, don't you worry. Okay, we're getting closer, and now I guess a plate would do it. Oh, perfect. One plate. Fantastic. Okay, now let's finish the rest of the conversation. We have a letter to the High Magician of the Circle of Fire. Well, the joke's on us.
Mam tu list dla arcymistrza magów ognia.
My jesteśmy magami wody. Magów z kręgu ognia znajdziesz w starym obozie.
Ale
Indeed.
strażnicy nie chcą mnie wpuścić do zamku. Możesz mi jakoś pomóc?
Cóż, co jakiś czas wysyłamy kurierów do naszych braci ze starego obozu. Ale przesyłki powierzamy wyłącznie ludziom Laresa. Od wielu lat jego chłopcy dbają o to, by nasze przesyłki docierały do magów ognia nienaruszone.
Now, guys, I think you will not be able to ask this line on consoles because this line doesn't make sense after we have already delivered the letter to Choristo in the Old Camp's castle. But I'm happy that it's here in PC as we still had it on us because it tells us a little bit more about the War Mages, okay? So just wanted to get that out of the way. You should not see this line here. Now let's ask about the Ormount.
Chcecie ponoć zniszczyć magiczną barierę. Jak zamierzacie tego dokonać?
Próbujemy zgromadzić w jednym miejscu możliwie dużą ilość magicznej rudy. Podczas wielkiego rytuału cała skumulowana w rudzie magiczna energia zostanie wyzwolona i bariera pryśnie jak mydlana bańka. Naturalnie tak wielka ilość rudy przyciąga tutaj różnych włóczęgów i bandytów. Dlatego potrzebujemy wielu ludzi do pilnowania naszych zapasów.
Okay, that sounds cool. I'd like to join you.
Chciałbym do was dołączyć.
Jeśli chcesz zostać jednym z nas, powinieneś porozmawiać z Lee albo z Laresem.
No, you don't understand. I want to join you, magicians.
Chciałbym zostać magiem.
Nie możemy dzielić się naszą wiedzą z przeciwnikiem.
Yet you want to teach me how to
Dopóki nie
increase mana.
przekonasz nas o swojej lojalności, nie masz nawet o czym marzyć. Nie będziemy cię uczyli.
Okay, fine, whatever. Now guys, we've bought those books, but I want to hold off of reading them until we actually start using rune magic, so I'm keeping this for a future episode. For now, what I want to show you is the overview of the new camp. Unlike with Balkadar, we didn't have to wait until we wrap up our business here for me to be able to show you the map, so this is so much better already. There it is. And here we go, we are next to the Ormount at the center, and like all overviews of camps maps, this doesn't show our position with an arrow, but we know where we are right now. So you can see the lake pub, you can see the Watchtower, the rice fields with the large warehouse, and then you can see the plateau where Cord and his mercenaries practice, and then the path into the new camp proper. There's the mercenary enclave to the north, then to the west, there's the magician's enclave, to the south is an underground path leading to the Ormount itself, underneath the Great, and then to the south and southeast is the Rogues Enclave, which is the part we are able to explore today. Okay, just want to get that out of the way. And I think I'm gonna start over from this side. Now, here is a very important NPC called Wolf, but guys, if you're playing on consoles, you should be able to steal his chest at night. But on PC, ever since NPCs no longer sleep, I found it impossible to steal from this guy at night, so I'm gonna try that during the day. Oh, thank God it works. Excellent. So just this particular chest I'm gonna rob now and plunder it. But like I said, Wolf is one of the most important NPCs. He's an armorer, he's a bowmaker, he's a teacher. He's just such an essential guy for the whole running of the camp. But Nameless doesn't know that yet.
Kim jesteś?
Jestem płatnerzem. Mówią na mnie wilk.
Okay. Merchant in the new camp. Wolf supplies the rogues with armor. He's usually in front of his hut in the big living cave. Okay, how can I get a better armor?
Potrzebuję lepszej zbroi.
Nie mogę ci nic sprzedać. Lares zabiłby mnie, gdyby dowiedział się, że sprzedaję zbroję obcym.
Yeah, I thought as much. Okay, so where can we get a bow?
Gdzie mogę kupić
Oh, what a coincidence.
Trafiłeś
Right
pod
here.
właściwy adres. Mam tu dobry towar za bardzo przystępne ceny.
Okay. So, Wolf the Rogue trades bows. Now, bows aren't much help unless we know how to handle them.
Chciałbym nauczyć się strzelać z łuku.
Cóż, mógłbym cię nauczyć, ale to będzie kosztować. Ja też muszę jeść, no nie?
Ile?
50 bryłek. Bez targowania.
Now, what's cool is that it also costs 50 or to master the bow. That didn't increase in price since we are already trained. But guys, just do it at Cavalorn. He doesn't even ask for any ore and it costs the same amount of learning points.
Chciałbym sprawniej posługiwać się łukiem.
Nie mogę cię niczego nauczyć. Brak ci doświadczenia.
Indeed, but at least we got another journal entry about tutoring the new camp. Wolf the Rogue can teach me how to use a bow. Now, let's finally see what he
Zajmujesz
has.
się czymś jeszcze?
Skupuję skóry i futra od myśliwych. Gdybyś
Good.
miał
We
kiedyś
have
taki
plenty.
towar na zbyciu, zgłoś się do mnie.
Now everyone buys these, not just Wolf, but he mentions that. By the way, guys, another opportunity to get the Bloodflies book for the Trophy Hunter achievement, in case you haven't done so in the Swamp Camp. Just want to let you know. 5 grapes, one of the rarest food items. I'm just getting them out of principle. Then plenty of ammunition, and the best bow he sells is the worst bow in the game. This is pathetic, Wolf. I'm sorry. Now it's gonna get so much better in the following chapters, but at the beginning, there's just nothing to write home about, is there? So anyway, trophies, trophies, trophies. We have plenty of claws. I wanna offload, and... ooh, stingers. Okay, excellent. Lurker's claws. And... oh, there's still so much space. Lurker's skin, which also fetches very pretty penny. That is too much, I think. Let's remove you from the equation. And now we want to give him something of 8 points of value. You know what, Wolf? I'm gonna let you keep a crossbow bolt. I hope you're happy. Okay, now how do we get furs and skins, in case we don't know that yet?
Jak mogę zdobyć futra albo skóry?
Przy drodze do nowego obozu kręci się Aidan.
Ah, we know
On
the guy.
może cię nauczyć, jak ściągać skórę ze zwierząt. Radford i Drax
Ah, didn't forget about them either.
północ
Cool.
od starego obozu, na drodze do miejsca wymiany.
Notice how it's only New Camp people teaching you this. And again, this is so cool, because only people in the New Camp have had to learn how to get their economy going with what the barrier offers, because they get no goods from the outside, which is why they are so focused on trading skins and teeth and claws from animals as crafting materials. Again, there's so much thought put into this. I think it's fantastic. Now, it should have been tutor outside the camps, should have been this entry for Aiden the Hunter, but since we already had it, the game didn't just re-give it to us or anything like that. Anyway, this is really cool. Now, as we move along the Rogues Enclave, let's sell wheat to everyone. Again, we're getting everyone high, and we're making pretty penny doing that. Now, honestly, it's, I don't know, 250 ore per day you can make, so it's not that much, but it's pretty cool. There's Homer, this is where he lives, we already talked to him about everything. Oh, we can ask about where Gorn is. Oh.
Gdzie mogę znaleźć Gorna?
Interesting.
Po wejściu do jaskini trzymaj się prawej ściany. Znajdziesz tam kilka chat. Gorn mieszka w jednej z nich.
Didn't think he'd be that important to the rest
Mam
of the
przy
camp.
sobie trochę bagiet.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I found out something new after all this year. That's fantastic. Okay, another 2 rogues. Then a guy called Butch, who doesn't talk to us. We don't need to talk to him yet, but I have plans for this guy. And now something I want to show you. Very dodgy character called Wedge.
Hej, ty!
Co?
Look at his face being covered
Tak,
up.
chodź no tutaj.
This is such a cool armor.
Czego ode mnie chcesz?
Jesteś tu nowy, co? Od razu zauważyłem.
I mean, just look at
Musisz
us.
się jeszcze wiele nauczyć. Mógłbym ci pokazać, co w trawie piszczy. Przede wszystkim musisz uważać, z kim rozmawiasz. Widzisz tego faceta tam, przy ognisku? To bacz. Strzeż się go.
A co z nim jest nie tak?
Ma paskudny nawyk napadania nowo przybyłych. Na twoim miejscu unikałbym go jak ognia.
So the New Camp's version of Bullet.
Czego możesz mnie nauczyć?
To zależy. A co chcesz wiedzieć?
Okay, guys, and he can teach us how to open locks and do pickpocketing. Again, we've covered all these in our, I think it was 3rd episode of the series, where I explained just how useless both skills are. Again, that is not the case in Gothic Remake, which is cool. Well, pickpocketing is still kind of useless, but more on that later. So, yeah, it's the same deal as Fingers. We have the learning points for me to show you the lines from Veg, but he's just gonna repeat the same lines Fingers does. So there's nothing new for me to show you here. We did get a journal entry tutor in the new camp, which the rogue can teach me the talents of sneaking, pickpocketing, and lockpicking, so also sneaking just like Cavalorn. So they actually have an in-house teacher in new camp for sneaking, so he's maybe already a better thief than Fingers? Although Fingers' reputation, as we'll learn in Gothic 2, is much bigger. But anyway, I just find that interesting, and he doesn't even ask for any money. Again, he does it for free, like Cavalorn, which I think is an oversight. Why would anyone in New Camp do anything for free? Or any of the camps? Anyway, we talked to him about Butch. Now, I specifically remember Butch attacking us from when I played the game as a kid, but across all versions of the game I played since, that's not really the case.
Cześć.
False memory, maybe.
Nie twój interes. Nie podoba mi się twoja gęba.
Oh, those are fighting words. Besides, I really want Butch's weapon. I think Butch is a very fair target for what I'm about to do. Now guys, this is important. Let's refill our health. Last time I did this, I literally survived with 1 health point. This is not going to be easy. And rather than maximizing our protection, we need to maximize our strength. Okay, this is important. Still not enough to wield this thing, but it's too slow. We have practiced. We are a master of one-handed weapons, and we should be able to liquidate Butch quickly and land as many hits as possible before he'll recover.
Słabe przedstawienie! Facet potykał się o własne nogi!
And not only do you get another longbow, but steel mace, only 15 strength, and it deals 36 damage. This is 3 points better than the battle sword. We have upgraded our weapon, and guys, we need this for an even tougher target. Guys, I've never managed to take down Butch without us being hit in return. I was about to say, after you land a few hits, do distance so he starts charging, and you can get him from the back. But this is the wonders, these are the wonders of being a one-handed weapon master. Now let's talk to Butch just to hear his unique, well, they're not unique, they're generic, but angry lines. We only get to hear them once, so why not? And guys, this also serves to illustrate another point. Notice how no one cares. This is New Camp, it's every man for themselves. This is not a bug. This is the philosophy of the camp. There are no guards keeping peace like in the old camp. If we started a fight with one of them, or even the diggers, we'd get shot to death with crossbows. Here, people consider it an entertainment. Again, when the game mechanics support the narrative, the immersion is just absolutely fantastic. I love this game so much, and the fact that it's 25 years old just absolutely blows my mind. Okay, now I want to... You know what? No. Let's talk to Sharky over here. Sharky is an interesting character, but we're gonna find that out in, I think, 2 episodes from now on.
Cześć, jak leci?
Chcesz coś kupić?
Przydałoby mi się kilka drobiazgów.
Indeed, more money. And honestly, the best weapon Sharky has is the withered axe we found on a dead guard in a cave surrounded by mole rats. This is pathetic. I don't know what they were thinking, but just know that Sharky is gonna get a lot better, okay? We don't need the battle sword anymore, and... Ooh, 666 crossbow bolts. How sexy. And let's just offload all this. And we can give him 2 skins for 10, and that's it. Everyone's buying these up. This is fantastic investment. Okay, now, we, of course, also want to sell wheat to all the rogues we find. There should be a named rogue called Bruce in here as well, who is just a generic rogue, so we can sell to him as well. I can't remember where exactly he resides. It could be... Ah, there he is. We need to get a little bit closer. Hey, Brucey boy. This is a character, if you're planning on robbing all the chests in the camp, on the console version you'll need to beat up. But more on that later. We'll also be robbing this place blind in today's episode. Like I said, today is a chunky one. But it just made sense for me to do it in this way. Oh, and there's Buster. He's gonna talk to us automatically.
Wiesz co, poruszasz się tak jakoś sztywno. Mógłbym ci pomóc.
How can you help me?
Mogę ci pokazać, jak należy balansować ciałem. Nauczę cię akrobatyki.
Okay, teach me acrobatics. We still have 15 learning points, and guys, this is one of the best skills in the game. Trust me.
Po kilku lekcjach nauczysz się skakać na większe odległości. Pokażę ci, w jaki sposób można złagodzić efekt upadku z dużej wysokości. Tylko nie myśl sobie, że będziesz mógł skakać Bóg wie skąd. Akrobatyka przyda ci się również w trakcie walki. Pokażę ci, jak bardzo szybko zmniejszyć lub zwiększyć odległość dzielącą cię od przeciwnika. Powodzenia!
Thank you, you're very kind. Now, we can ask him this
Mogę ci
again.
pokazać, jak
And now, if you try to relearn it...
Jesteś już lepszy!
I don't know why these leftover lines are there, but hey, there's a general info. So first of all, Sharky, the rogue, deals with weapons and other goods. He's usually somewhere in the new camp. And now Buster the rogue teaches the skill of acrobatics. Interesting. Now, what acrobatics does, and where it entered, is the special skills category on our character sheet. Again, we've learned one-handed weapons, we learned acrobatics, we are slowly becoming the jack of all trades, we are re-equipping accessories today. This is what Jack of all trades playthrough is all about, and I couldn't be happier. We are down to 5 skill points only, but don't worry, level up is imminent. And what acrobatics do is, let me show you. And I can't begin to tell you how much this seemingly insignificant small thing is gonna decrease our travel time. Furthermore, especially if you're gonna be casting spells as a mage, you need acrobatics to increase distances between you and your target, okay? Guys, stay away from those two guys, pretty please. The way you interact with them and the guy behind them will have permanent influence on Cunning Scheme's achievement, which is gonna have permanent effect on the brownie points and the True Believers. So let's stay away from there until we start branching into different narratives, and let's now get to the pub we heard so much about, okay?
A dokąd to się wybieramy?
No, do środka?
Nie żartuj. Silas wpuszcza do siebie tylko krety i szkodniki.
You know, I would expect we look like a digger or scraper, as they're calling him here to differentiate from the old camp, but...
Jestem kretem i chcę się napić.
Nie wyglądasz mi na kreta. Tak łatwo się tu nie dostaniesz, chłopcze.
The reasoning is that we don't have the new camp blue pants, we have the old camp green pants. Okay.
Może parę bryłek rudy załatwi sprawę.
Parę? To znaczy ile?
Now guys, don't do this on consoles, because Nameless is actually gonna give him 10 ore that you're not gonna get back, but on PC,
Mam przy
he
sobie
doesn't.
10 bryłek. Oto one.
Za 10 bryłek mogę nie obić ci buzi i pozwolić jeszcze raz spróbować mnie przekupić.
It's actually safer to offer 50,
Może parę bryłek.
because he's not gonna take that, just tell you off.
Co byś powiedział na 50 bryłek?
To jakaś połowa tego, co w tych stronach nazywamy paroma bryłkami.
So to get in, you need to pay him 100. Now this might be worth it, because we'll make one of the biggest businesses of our life inside the pub. Actually, two of them. It's a fantastic place, one of my favorites. But you're gonna fail the Master of Disguise achievement if you do pay them the 100 ores. So let's not go to the pub yet. I just wanted to illustrate you the different options. Let's also talk to the left bouncer.
Wpuszczacie tu tylko szkodniki i krety?
Nie mamy też nic do braci z sekty, ale poza nimi nie wpuszczamy tu nikogo.
So the implication is, if you're novice of the Brotherhood of the Sleeper, you also be allowed in.
Ogłuchłeś, czy co?
Okay, let's just keep distance between us. And now, my friends, for the time being, I'm gonna go on a journey to the so-called Free Mine, which is interesting because if this is your first playthrough, at this point in the story, in the game, you don't know a place like that even really exists, but it's been hinted at. They told you they are scraping ore. The question is where from, and that's the place I want to show you because it's the perfect time to visit it and get some extra goodies and improve this Stone Crusher weapon, Steel Mace into Stone Crusher. That is even better. And look how the damage pop-up is now yellow for blunt. This is the result of a mod I'm using to make this a better guide, to show you what effects the different choices we made have on the enemies. You're not gonna see this in a console version of the game or unmodded PC, but still, very important, I think. If you're wondering what's there, nothing, guys. You can get a view overlooking the plateau with the waterfall. Also, you'll see very climbable looking spots over here. There's nothing there either, which is a shame. Curious to see if and how they expanded on this in the Gothic remake. Haven't made it to the Free Mine in my first playthrough yet. Okay, more right over here. And we have entered a cave, and then we'll enter another rather empty valley. Okay, oh, we got hit. But the minimum damage we can take is always 1, no matter what our defense is. I kind of wish this would also apply to us dealing damage to enemies, but no, you can deal minimum 0, the enemies cannot. How is this fair? Tell me. Now, let's save the game here, guys, because the wolf that's over to the side can start hunting the mole rats and take your precious experience away from you, and that would never do. Oh, come on, that would have been perfect, Nameless. Anyway, since wolves are massive experience bags, we have leveled up to level 9. Excellent. We are 1 level short of what is allowed to join the mercenaries, actually, which is at the advanced guild, like Gomez's guards already. Excellent. And now, my friends, let me welcome you to the Hollow. And in case you've played Arkolos Chronicles of Myrtana, tell me if you recognize this guy.
Gość. Nie próbuj nam tutaj sprawiać żadnych kłopotów, bo oberwiesz.
Okay, his voice is absolutely terrifying.
Chcę się dostać do kopalni.
Nie wróżę ci wielkich szans powodzenia, ale pogadaj z Okylem.
Will do.
Chcę się tylko trochę rozejrzeć.
Tylko uważaj, żebyś nie nadepnął komuś na odcisk.
Guys, such a fantastic voice.
Lepiej już sobie pójdę.
So cool.
Mam nadzieję, że się rozumiemy.
Wish I had a voice like that.
Muszę już iść.
No to idź.
Guys, if you played Arkelos Chronicles of Myrtana, this, in my opinion, is Ulrich, the leader of Wolf's Sons, because in that story, they all got deported into the barrier. And he has the exact same face and hairstyle, and makes perfect sense they would team up with the new camp. Because here, they are not serving anyone, and Ulrich was a leader. Let me know what you think of that theory in case you played and finished the game. Now, he's gonna mind, so you'll have to sneak in if you're playing the console version of the game, but notice how we got grapes. That is not a coincidence, there is intention behind that. Furthermore, let's talk to generic mercenary. There's different dialogues here. Notice how we cannot sell them swamp weed, because these are different from the ones in the new camp. We are in the hollow now.
Wszystko w porządku?
Co się głupio pytasz? Wszystko pod kontrolą.
I'm doing small talk, that's why I'm asking
Co
stupid
słychać w
questions.
obozie?
Pilnujemy wejścia do kopalni.
Tylko nasi ludzie mogą wejść do środka.
Oh, the mercenary was supposed to say that line, not nameless. Huh. Oh, with a game this size, mistakes like that will
Co mam
happen.
zrobić, żeby do was dołączyć?
Jeśli chcesz pracować w kotle,
Why did
musisz
we want
najpierw
that?
wyrobić sobie znajomości w nowym obozie. Po prostu idź tam i pogadaj z ludźmi.
Okay, who calls the shots around here?
Kto tu rządzi?
Kto tu rządzi?
Rozkazuje w kotle. Lee rządzi w obozie. Najlepiej porozmawiaj z obydwoma.
Excellent. Let's get a torch, because it's already getting very dark. Let me check the time. We have 3.5 good hours of, well, not daylight anymore. But anyway, inside this hut is a completely empty chest, so again, you don't need to bother, but I wanted to show that to you. And now this should be all right. Indeed. Grapes. Again, there's a rhyme and reason for this that we're gonna find out in a second. Then let's quickly get this chest. And what you can do on console where the mercenaries will not like you touching those chests is go here, wait for them to yell at you, step out, and as they turn their back to walk back to their original spot, sneak back into the hut. That's what works on consoles flawlessly. There are some exceptions. Actually, I'm gonna get to... Oh yeah, this was empty as well, but at least we cracked it open. Hey, in Gothic Remake, post its billionth patch, this would already mean experience, so it's not a complete waste. Now, I just told you how something works perfectly, but I'm gonna show you the one and only exception of that, and it's right here. So first of all, let's talk to the scraper over here.
Witaj.
Let's ask about the camp.
Co ten obóz ma do zaoferowania?
To zależy, co ci się uda wyrwać dla siebie. Dla niektórych jest tu tylko charuwa bez końca, ale inni potrafią się nieźle bawić.
So in other words, people are lazing around.
A gdybym chciał do was dołączyć?
Why?
Do nas? Jak to? Nosi woda?
Oh, don't talk about water carrying.
jako kret.
Posłuchaj mnie uważnie. Nikt nie zostaje kretem na ochotnika. No, ale jeśli się upierasz, porozmawiaj ze Swineyem. Może ulituje się nad tobą i da ci jakiś kilof.
Okay, there's not a single pickaxe in this place, by the way, which I find funny. So, he mentioned a name. Who is in charge here?
Kto tu jest szychą?
Kto jest szychą? Ja oczywiście. Ale pewnie chcesz wiedzieć, kto tu rozkazuje. Powinieneś porozmawiać z najemnikami albo szkodnikami. W pobliże magów wody raczej się nie dostaniesz. Ten wieprz, Swiney,
There he is again.
stanowczo za wysoko zadziera nosa. Nic, tylko rozdziela kilofy i całuje tyłek okyla.
Okay, and just tell me what's life like
Jak
here.
wygląda życie tutaj?
Wspaniale. Tak wspaniale, że mamy już dość tej wiecznej szczęśliwości i próbujemy stąd zwiać. A co sobie myślałeś? To jest więzienie. Nikt nie lubi siedzieć w więzieniu.
Fair enough. Now let's talk to this fellow over
Czego
here.
chcesz? Nie chcę mieć przez ciebie jakichś kłopotów.
Okay, tell me about the camp.
Chciałbym dowiedzieć się czegoś więcej o waszym obozie.
Nie wiem, czy mogę ci z tym jakoś pomóc. Porozmawiaj lepiej ze Swineyem albo z najemnikami.
Co mam zrobić, żeby do was dołączyć?
Tu nic nie pomogę, jestem tylko drobną płotką. Porozmawiaj ze Swineyem.
Yeah, this guy clearly doesn't want to talk.
Kto tu
Guys,
dowodzi?
I'm starting to piece
Całym
together
kotłem trzęsą
Swiney might be in
najemnicy.
charge.
Ale w nowym obozie sprawy mają się nieco inaczej. Dlatego lepiej uważaj, z kim zadzierasz.
Jak wygląda życie tutaj?
Nie mogę narzekać. Każdy musi odpracować swoje i tyle. Ale i tak jest tu lepiej niż
Oh,
w
yeah.
starym obozie.
At least you're still
Przybywasz ze
outside, not
starego
inside the
obozu?
mine.
Jeśli jesteś ze starego obozu, wiedz, że ja nie szukam żadnych kłopotów.
Don't worry, we're not coming from Bloodwind or anything like that. Now guys, this is a bit problematic on consoles. These guys will react to you entering the huts and stealing the chests. In the PC version, they'll only react to you entering the hut, so it's easy, you can unlock them in time. But what works for me sometimes is entering the hut and making sure these fellas will get confused and start running and climbing all around the huts. And then you can outrun them, then come back later when they cool off and get the remaining chests. On PC, thankfully, we don't need to deal with that. Apples and cheese, again, this is by intent. It's tied to a quest here. Then other two chests, let's see, this should be right, left, right. Fantastic, a juicy piece of ham. And then right, left. Ooh, recipes, but it's volume 1 again. I already talked about the volume 2 that I think was supposed to be here. Back when we stole it from Snuff's chest, okay? Now, I want to go down to the hollow before we go up. Up is where we'll actually wrap up our business. There are also a couple of generic rogues here, but again, you cannot sell swamp wheat to them, which is a terrible shame, because these are the hollow rogues, despite them smoking. Again, I hope they will remedy this in the Gothic remake.
Dobrze się czujesz?
Nie gorzej niż wczoraj.
That's fair.
Opowiedz mi coś o tym obozie.
Ta dziura w ziemi pomoże nam się stąd wydostać. Jak tylko uzbieramy dość rudy, będziemy mieli gdzieś stary obóz.
Okay, who calls the shots here?
Kto tu rządzi?
Okyl jest tu szefem, ale zwykle zostawia szkodniki w spokoju.
Okay, Okyl is the actual boss. This guy thinks he's the boss. Let's talk to him first. Oh, please finish smoking. We're running out of time.
Kim jesteś?
Jestem najlepszym inżynierem, jakiego ta przeklęta kolonia kiedykolwiek widziała, chłopcze. Pilnuję, żeby nasi chłopcy nie ściągnęli sobie na głowę sterty kamieni, kopiąc w niewłaściwym miejscu.
So an experienced miner.
Chciałbym do was dołączyć jako kret.
Czyżby? Tylko nie oczekuj zbyt wiele po tej robocie. 3 porcje ryżu na dzień. Resztę musisz sobie sam załatwić. Wiesz, dlaczego odwalamy całą tę brudną robotę? Żeby pewnego dnia móc wyjść na wolność z tego przeklętego więzienia. Cały nasz urobek jest składowany na wielkim kopcu. Raz w miesiącu każdy z nas dostaje 50 bryłek, żeby móc się porządnie upić. To najważniejsze rzeczy, które powinieneś wiedzieć. Masz chociaż jakieś doświadczenie w tej robocie?
I have bad news for you, Swiney. By the way, guys, the reason why you noticed a massive cut, just as Swiney was talking about freedom, the whole game crashed. I guess it broke free out of the barrier. So I had to restart everything and get us to this point, okay? I used it as a moment to refill my water at least, so that's good. Anyway, you can tell Swiney, yes, I have experience, or you can be honest, which is funnier.
Nie.
No jasne. Dlaczego to zawsze ja muszę was uświadamiać? Słuchaj uważnie. Weź te ciuchy i załóż je na siebie. Tutaj. Gdyby kawałek rudy spadł ci na bosą stopę, zostałbyś kaleką do końca życia. Oczywiście wtedy byłbyś dla nas znacznie mniej przydatny. Gdzieś w pobliżu powinien leżeć jakiś kilof. Oczywiście wiele z nim nie zdziałasz. Mówi się trudno.
Well, anyway, how much ore have you collected
Jak
so
dużo
far?
rudy udało wam się uzbierać do tej pory?
Magowie mówią, że mamy już niemal całą potrzebną ilość. Kiedy będziesz w nowym obozie, rzuć okiem na kopiec.
Something tells me they've been saying that for months. Anyway, guys, to blend in with New Camp people, I like to put on the digger's dress. It's 5 points of protection less than the digger's trousers we have from Fisk, so it's not all that great, but as long as we're not getting into combat, foreshadowing, it's fine. Now, these people get paid 50 ore nuggets per month. This is depressing.
Co robisz
A
tutaj w
Sisyphean
kopalni?
effort. I wanted to have a look around the camp first.
Chciałem tylko trochę rozejrzeć się po obozie.
To trafiłeś w niewłaściwe miejsce. To jest wejście do kopalni. Nie możesz się tutaj kręcić.
Oh, this is the entrance to the mine. Well, in that case, that's where I want to be.
Chciałem tylko obejrzeć kopalnię.
Jak widzisz, kopalnia jest zamknięta. Nie ma tu nic ciekawego do oglądania.
Is there nothing we can do about it?
Może się jakoś dogadamy.
A o czym tu niby gadać? Sekundę. Jeśli próbujesz mnie przekupić, to trafiłeś na niewłaściwego człowieka.
You're no fun.
Nie próbuję nikogo przekupić. Pomyślałem tylko...
What else did you think about Nameless?
Mam jeszcze kilka rzeczy do załatwienia.
Tak też myślałem.
Okay, guys, now they're not gonna stop you for approaching this. It's locked, you're not getting in. You can, of course, corner glitch and completely break the story, which is not what I'm gonna do. The way they block this off completely is that the only way it can be opened up is using a winch inside that hut, which is behind a locked door that only this guard has the key to, and that guard cannot be defeated.
Co się tak kręcisz? Dobrze ci radzę. Łapy z dala od tych drzwi.
I wanna go to the mine.
Chciałbym dostać się do kopalni.
Do kopalni? Nie wpuszczę nikogo, kto nie otrzymał upoważnienia od Okilla.
Kim jest Okil?
Uważaj, co mówisz o naszym szefie. Powiem ci coś o Okillu. To najtwardszy gość w całym obozie. Kiedyś nawet wśliznął się do zamku w starym obozie i podwędził magnatom spory ładunek rudy. Więc na przyszłość radzę ci okazywać mu trochę więcej szacunku.
Okay.
Nie wiem, gdzie jest
Sounds
teraz,
like a legend.
ale jakbyś go spotkał, lepiej pamiętaj o tym, co ci dziś powiedziałem.
Okej.
Chciałbym się tutaj trochę rozejrzeć.
Tylko trzymaj łapy przy sobie, albo ci je odrąbię.
Lepiej już sobie pójdę.
Mam nadzieję, że się rozumiemy.
But if you say this again, different lines now.
Muszę już iść.
No to idź.
So again, like we established before, a red color means it needs a key. These guys have it, they're essential NPCs, you cannot get the key early. This is because things are happening in that mine which story-wise don't make sense yet, so it's one of the few ways this open world blocks the player off. Now, they all talked about Okil. I think it's time to talk to this guy. Like I said, he's quite the legend. Back when Gothic 1 released in 2001, well, that's when it released in Germany only, but it took a few months for other countries and then I think an extra year or so in US. There was a webcomic created entirely via in-game screenshots used in machinima-like fashion in Marvin mode that would introduce Okil to players. There was a webcomic. Okil, who is now staring at us, or glaring I would say, was, I can't remember if an Ore Baron outright of the old camp or just one of the guards, but together with other Ore Barons they went for a hunt of shadow beasts in the largest forest on the map, and things went south. Okil got injured and a water current took him from river all the way to the fishing lake opposite the new camp where Laris and his gang nursed him back to health. That's why he joined them, and because the Ore Barons completely forgot about him, he decided to go for a little revenge and he led a mission into the old camp's castle to steal some ore and make it back. So what that guard was telling us is actually true, and I love the fact that Piranha Bytes have put together such a story about this seemingly unimportant character.
Hej, ty! Nie jesteś jednym z moich ludzi. Czego tu szukasz?
And who the hell are you?
Kim jesteś?
Jestem Okil.
Oh,
To
sorry.
ja rozkazuję w
Awkward.
kotle.
Okay, tell me about the mine.
Chciałem rzucić okiem na kopalnię.
O, chciałeś sobie zrobić mały spacer po kopalni, co? Widzę, że nie masz pojęcia, co się tutaj dzieje. Nikt nie może wejść do kopalni bez mojego pozwolenia. I zapamiętaj sobie, ktokolwiek wejdzie do stróżówki bez mojej zgody, będzie martwym człowiekiem.
Okay, will I be allowed to go in?
Udzielisz mi pozwolenia?
Nawet cię nie znam. Dlaczego miałbym cię wpuścić do kopalni? A teraz spadaj stąd. Mam dużo roboty.
Tylko się tu trochę rozejrzę.
Tylko nie próbuj rozrabiać w kotle, bo trafisz do piachu szybciej niż myślisz.
Okay, let's just
Muszę już iść.
leave.
To nie zawracaj mi głowy.
Nie zawracaj mi głowy. Okay, now guys, if you want some proof that Okil is a legend,
Jeśli szukasz kłopotu,
I was hoping he would go for his ex, but no. The ex that he carries, for some reason he went for his longbow, is one of the most powerful weapons in the game. You can also find it in the very final dungeon of the game, just to give you a sense of how powerful Okil is. Now opposite of him is a chest, and this is right, left, but guys, don't bother, it's empty. And on console they also attack you. There is a particular way you can sneak in here, with Okil's back being turned the other way and the scrapers being preoccupied elsewhere, that you can get to it, but again, it's empty, so there's that. This one isn't empty nor locked, and it has 2 pieces of ham. Okay, excellent. So now, let's go to the highest most point, other than the very entrance to the hollow. And this one will have a quest tied to an achievement called Super Weapon, okay? First of all, there is a hut with nothing to steal in it, so why would we even care, right? Then more generic rogues you cannot sell weed to. Sometimes they sit inside and stare at each other. I'd like to think they play cards or something. There is also a mercenary here.
Hej ty, co się dzieje?
Leave me alone, I need to go.
Przykro mi, ale nie mam czasu na pogawędki.
O, jesteś zajęty. Porozmawiamy innym razem.
Cool, thank you. So you can now go and steal these chests if you so want, but this guy isn't going to take a look at it too kindly. However, there is a better way to steal these chests, and that's when this guy will be flat on his face. We'll get to that. So my friends, this starts a quest called Super Weapon. Let's talk to this guy and fall for his tricks.
Cześć.
Kręcisz się tutaj, jakbyś czegoś szukał.
Czyżby? Może masz rację. A dlaczego?
Świetnie, zapytaj mnie. Może mogę ci jakoś pomóc.
Sure, what did you have in mind?
Co masz na myśli?
A czego potrzebujesz?
Na początek wystarczy dobry miecz, gruby pancerz i wstęp do kopalni.
To małe piwo. Mam tu coś
Małe
takiego,
piwo,
że
small
oczy
beer.
ci wyjdą na wierzch. Mogę ci dać broń, którą pokonasz każdego wroga. W zamian wystarczy, że wyświadczysz mi drobną przysługę. To wszystko. Co ty na to?
Now, if you'll doubt him, I don't believe a word he says, because this sounds like bullshit, he's gonna realize, okay, you're a bit smarter than he thought, and he's never gonna talk to you again. But if you want a fun quest, an achievement, and experience, you need to fall for it.
Co miałbym dla ciebie zrobić?
To proste. Przynieś mi 5 jabłek, 2 butelki ryżówki, 5 butelek piwa, 3 bochenki chleba, 2 kawałki sera i 2 kiście winogron. Możesz mi wierzyć, nie pożałujesz. Jak już mówiłem, tą bronią pokonasz każdego wroga.
I already forgot what he wants from us. The bloke is taking the piss, indeed, but we have to have the super weapon.
Dobrze, zobaczę, co się da zrobić.
To świetnie, tylko się pośpiesz. Tylko nie zapomnij. 5 jabłek, 2 butelki ryżówki, 5 butelek piwa, 3 bochenki chleba, 2 kawałki sera i 2 kiście winogron. Jasne?
Jak słońce.
We have a problem. I forgot what we're supposed to get.
Nie udało mi się zebrać wszystkich potrzebnych ci rzeczy. Mógłbyś mi przypomnieć, co to miało być?
Jasne. Słuchaj uważnie. Chcę, żebyś mi przyniósł 5 jabłek, 2 butelki ryżówki, 5 butelek piwa, 3 bochenki chleba, 2 kawałki sera i 2 kiście winogron. Zapamiętasz tym razem?
Oczywiście.
No chance.
Niedługo wrócę.
You wanted an apple, right? Thankfully, we get a journal entry saying Ballora's weapon. Ballora promised to trade me a superb weapon if I'd bring him 5 apples, 2 bottles of rye schnapps, 5 bottles of beer, 3 loaves of bread, 2 pieces of cheese, and 2 bunches of grapes. Easy. And this is why we've been finding wine and cheese and, hoity-toity, and grapes across the hollow. Okay, guys? So, you can also find some wine over in that crate over there. Now, if we bring Ballora what he wanted...
Mam już wszystko. Teraz porozmawiamy o tej niesamowitej broni, tak?
Najpierw pokaż mi, co dla mnie masz.
Proszę bardzo.
No, w porządku.
A teraz broń.
Zapomnij o tym.
Co?
Naprawdę myślałeś, że dostaniesz coś w zamian? Jeśli rzeczywiście jesteś taki głupi, to aż ci współczuję. Dziwię się, że przeżyłeś tak długo. Jeśli będziesz wierzył we wszystko, co ci powiedzą tutejsi ludzie, nie pociągniesz długo. A zresztą nieważne. Teraz mamy dość jedzenia na małą ucztę. Wielkie dzięki. Może się jeszcze spotkamy.
I mean, the least these guys could have done would be to at least invite us to that party, but no, not even that. We're just completely screwed over. I should have known better than trusting this jerk. Never mind, I have learned my lesson. And you have also unlocked Ballora's, the super weapon achievement for completing the quest. Now guys, here's the thing. I still want Ballora's weapon.
Hej, nie dam się robić w konia.
Czego znowu chcesz? Uciekaj stąd, powkurzaj sobie kogoś innego, co? No już, spadaj!
Okay, these are fighting words. So my friends, for quite possibly the toughest fight in the game, we're not strong enough to take on a mercenary. Like, there's just no chance. Let's refill that 1 extra health point. Let's make sure we have the 2 strength rings equipped. We have Next Amulet. And now let's re-equip the Digger's Trousers for extra 5 melee protection. What I want to do, and I have a plan, although this is extremely difficult and I can't blame you for coming back later when you're stronger, is taking Ballora's weapon. See, what he carries is a Stone Crusher that deals 1 extra point of damage, but honestly, it's a principle that counts. So, Balora.
Widzę, że będę ci musiał dać nauczkę.
No już, pośmialiśmy się trochę, a teraz spadaj stąd. Sio!
Chyba mnie nie zrozumiałeś.
No dobra, sam się o to prosiłeś. Ostrzegałem cię.
And if we land 1 or 2 criticals, hopefully before landing the killing blow. Excellent. Now let's just get the melee weapon. We can defeat Balora. Wow. We took Balora's weapon, and whilst he's down, let's very quickly open these up. Left, right, left, left, right, right. Okay, and let's reset his waking up timer, like this. To open this chest. It's not even locked. And you get a poker. This, I think, still makes Club the worst weapon, but this is a second close contender. And that's it. And my friends, we have received Balora's weapon. I now consider this super weapon achievement earned. I feel like that could have been the requirement of this quest. Look at him eating all the stuff we gave him.
Spuściłeś mi niezłe baty, stary. To była dobra walka, ale już się skończyła.
And we get German end. Now guys, our business in the hollow is wrapped up. Let's see. It's already past midnight. Never mind. Okay, that's fine. Just be very careful. This fight sometimes tends to get the attention of a mercenary underneath. Behind Okil in the distance, you see a dark-skinned mercenary. His longbow is tucked in, which is good. And he, if we approach that side, tends to get it out and shoot us to death. So I would consider this our cue to leave the hollow. We've robbed all the chests, we completed Balora's weapon quest, got the achievement, and got the actual Balora's weapon with this Stone Crusher. But one disadvantage is, despite being just 1 point difference, it requires 11 more strength. So currently, we need to have both strength rings equipped, if, like me, you haven't put a single point into strength for Jack of all trades, to wield this weapon, which means lower protection. But we're gonna get additional 5 strength increase from Horatio the peasant today, meaning we'll be able to unequip the strength ring, get extra protection, and still wield the Stone Crusher, which I think is fantastic. Anyway guys, I'm gonna speed things up because you've seen all this, and I want to go back to the new camp proper. Oh, and let's dress the part. We're not gonna get into fight, I think, in today's... Oh wait, we are. Okay, that's fine. But I want to wear the scraper pants, because with these, I mean, it's cool that it's the only armor in the game you get for free, you know, unlike Light, Digger's Trousers, or the Novice Loincloth. You get this for free, it's just you have to go all the way to the new camp, which is dangerous, and to the free mine to find it, right? So if you don't have the money, I guess, which I can't imagine in Gothic 1, but let's say you can get this armor for free. What's more, this piece of armor allows you to unlock the Master of Disguise achievement, because we finally look like the right kind of digger called Scraper for whatever reason.
No, do środka?
Nie żartuj. Silas wpuszcza do siebie tylko krety i szkodniki.
Jestem
And there
kretem
we go.
i chcę się napić.
Rzeczywiście, wyglądasz mi na jednego z tych brudnych szczurów. Właź!
Master of Disguise achievement is ours, and we have permanent lifetime access to the pub, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, first order of business, before we do anything, there are a couple of rogues on the roof of this place that will soon retreat to go to sleep, given the hour, so let's quickly sell them some wheat. If you manage to come all the way here before midnight, I managed to pull it off once, but not today, you'll be able to sell them the wheat, and then just past midnight, sell them the wheat again, because the daily timer for selling wheat for all generic rogues and mercenaries has reset, which is fantastic. Okay, and the fourth one. Okay, suffice to say we sold way more than Balkagan tasked us with, but that's because we are so enterprising. Okay, excellent. So, oh, be very careful, guys. Make sure you have at least 118 value to sell to Silas before you talk to him, because you can only trade with him once due to bug. This is not an issue on consoles.
Jak leci?
Świetnie. Sprzedajemy tu naszą ryżówkę za parę bryłek rudy. Da się z tego wyżyć. W końcu co innego mogą chłopcy zrobić z ciężko zarobioną rudą?
What else do you spend it for?
Chcę się napić.
Nie ma nic za darmo.
Okay, cool. So 18 and 100 arrows. I think you know what? Let's sell the steel mace. Let's give the poker, the smith's hammer, and I would now want to. We still have plenty of trophies, right? Oh my god, absolutely. We have claws, lurker claws, lurker skin, then so many wings that it's not even funny. We need to remove something of 8 points of value. Oh, we can give him a plate, right? Still have some. Fantastic. And now you'll see, guys, you can no longer talk to Silas, which is very annoying. They fixed this on consoles, like I said. Now, after talking to Silas, there is a scraper called Senyan, who's the most interesting person in the entire game.
Przybywasz z wolnej kopalni, tak?
Tak. Skąd wiesz?
That's it.
Chcę z tobą chwilę porozmawiać.
Nie przyszedłem tutaj, żeby gadać.
I understand him completely. You're tired from a shift. You just want to enjoy your beer or wheat in peace. The last thing we want to do is talk to strangers and make friends. So, Cypher. Guys, we heard about this guy. I think merchant in New Camp entry. Cypher buys and sells all sorts of goods in the bar at the lake. He's especially interested in major swamp wheat deliveries. This is who Balor from the Swamp Camp Gatherers told us about for the 50 ore price. And guess what? We are carrying 100 swamp wheat plus 8 that we found miscellaneously. So, let's unlock yet another achievement.
Co słychać?
Nasypaliśmy trochę piasku w machinę Gomeza. 3 zabitych strażników i mnóstwo towaru na sprzedaż. Trzeba to opić.
Jesteś jednym z ludzi, którzy bez przerwy napadają na stary obóz?
Nie. Napadamy go tylko wtedy, kiedy się to opłaca.
In Polish voiceovers, Nameless asked, "Are you one of the people that constantly attacks the old camp?" And Cypher said, "No. Not constantly, only when it's worth it." Again, this is where I think the English translation messed up, didn't get the point across. So anyway, what have we got to offer?
Co masz do zaoferowania?
Nie. Pytanie brzmi, co ty masz do zaoferowania? Interesują mnie wyłącznie poważne dostawy.
Balor powiedział mi, że interesuje cię bagienne ziele.
Masz coś na sprzedaż?
Look at us name dropping, making contacts. This is fantastic.
Dobijmy targu.
Czego chcesz?
Now guys, I tested this multiple times. To unlock the Drug Lord achievement specifically, you need to first sell, it has to be swamp wheat, nothing else, for 400 or maybe even less, but why would you do that? So first let's do this transaction, and Drug Lord achievement is ours. Everything we've started working towards back in the swamp camp couple of episodes back came to fruition here. We made a nice pile of money, but wait, it gets better. He has 100 more ore, it's 20 arrows, which is fine. So, what I want to do is, again, offload some crap we don't need, that everyone seems to want. Perfect. Those bloodfly wings are really carrying us. And that's our business with Cypher concluded. However, not our swamp wheat business. More on that. Right here in this corner, Bali Sidro. We heard about this guy from Balkagan.
Nie wyglądasz mi na zbyt zadowolonego.
Bo nie jestem. Muszę się pozbyć dużego ładunku ziela.
Sprzedajesz towary z obozu bractwa?
Tak, ale nie idzie mi najlepiej.
Well, what can you do when you can't be bothered, right? So let's see what he has
co
first.
tam masz?
Proszę.
Okay, so he has 20-20-10, Dream Call, Northern Dark, and Green Novice. And normally I'd say buy the Green Novice because you can turn that into profit, but wait, little bit of patience and spots, you can get everything he has on him. So first of all, I could sell the wheat for you for a consideration, of course.
Mógłbym ci pomóc sprzedać to ziele, oczywiście za drobną prowizję.
Zapomnij o tym. Nie jestem aż tak pijany. Dałbyś nogę z całym towarem.
We probably would. Okay, so this created a quest called the Weed Merchant. The novice Balisidro hangs around the bar at the lake and gets plastered. He should sell his share of weed stalks, but he doesn't manage to. I wonder why. Perhaps I could convince him to let me, pardon me, do it, but how should I do that? So I think let's just take out the big guns and mention Balkagan wants to get rid of him.
Wiesz co? Masz nieźle przechlapane. Balkagan znajdzie sobie kogoś innego na twoje miejsce.
Co? Na potęgę śniącego muszę się koniecznie pozbyć tego towaru.
That voice acting is perfect. So, think about it. How about now?
Sam pomyśl. Dasz mi ziele i podzielimy się zyskami.
Nie, jakoś sobie poradzę.
Okay, he needs more convincing, and we have the journal entry to reflect that. Balisidro was obviously upset when I told him about the plan to substitute him, but it still wasn't enough for him to let me do it. So you know what? Have a drink on me.
Proszę, łyknij sobie. Ja stawiam.
Dzięki, kolego. Twoje zdrowie.
Come on, he must know what we're after. But it's not like his brain cells are rubbing at this particular instance. Think about it.
Sam pomyśl. Dasz mi
There we
ziele
go.
i podzielimy się zyskami.
Stary, muszę koniecznie sprzedać ten towar. Chyba nie chcesz mnie wystrychnąć na dudka, co?
No.
Masz moje słowo.
See?
Dobrze, oto ziele. Powinieneś za nie dostać jakieś 400 bryłek. No to będzie po 200 bryłek na głowę. Zaczekam na ciebie tutaj. Wróć, jak tylko uda ci się sprzedać towar.
Wiesz, kto może tutaj kupić większą ilość ziela?
Gdybym wiedział, sam bym je dawno sprzedał, nie sądzisz? Poczułem się lepiej po pozbyciu się tego ziela, wiesz?
No guys, Bal Isidro is so drunk, his math is wrong as well. He gave us 50 different swampweed stalks, meaning our profit should be 500, not 400. Anyway, the last sip of my generous offer drowned the last bit of Bal Isidro's resistance. I think he'll accept my offer now. Also, this journal entry and the one above are unique depending on the particular order in which you offer beer or mention Bal Kagan. And I find these ones funnier, which is why I did this in this order. Bal Isidro gave me loads of wheat stalks. If I sell them, he'll give me half of the profit, which would be 200. Again, no, it should be 250 out of 500, but okay, fine. That means we can keep an extra 100 once we sell the stuff, which is a lot of work, of course. Now, we got all that. Now we can talk to Bal Isidro again. If you check his inventory, it's empty. It entered our inventory. Now, to complete the quest, we can give him 200 ore for lots of experience.
Sprzedałem całe ziele.
500.
A moje 200 bryłek?
Proszę bardzo.
Świetnie. Teraz Bal Kagan może mi... No wiesz... Miło było robić z tobą interesy.
God, I love this voice acting so much. So, Bal Isidro was relieved to get his 200 ore, and for 200 ore we get 500 experience, which is fantastic. But wait, it doesn't end here. Get this. You can now again ask him to show you his
Pokaż mi,
wares.
co tam masz.
Proszę.
And we can now get the 200 ore back. And send him home. With bloodfly wings. He'll bring home to the Brotherhood. He lost all his wheat, and he'll bring bloodfly wings because apparently in the swamp they have bloodfly shortage. And what's best is that the guy he was looking for to sell all the stuff to was here the whole time, but he was too busy getting plastered. He could have just sold the entire inventory to Cypher, which is why Cypher had 500 ore on him. But he didn't think to do that. Guys, this is so incredibly funny. The way that the emergent gameplay and just setting things up without explicitly telling you results in being one of the funniest quests in the game is absolutely fantastic. I love this game. So anyway, guys, make sure to sneak here on consoles. Oh, and this is interesting. This is the distillery where they create rice schnapps. And you guessed it, the two ingredients are rice and pure alcohol. And we get rice schnapps. Again, that's the storytelling just within this chest, next to the alchemy table, which was a scrapped crafting system that was supposed to be in the original version. That made it to the remake, thankfully. So interesting where that will go. I hope we'll be able to create rice schnapps there. And now, again, you have to sneak here or wait till Silas and Jeremiah are asleep before getting here on consoles. On PC, at least, they don't seem to mind, which is fantastic, because it's the only way we can get to these chests, and they never sleep now. Some ore over here, and then it should be right, left, left, right. And we want to talk to Jeremiah, who is very crucial, because he's tied to Horatio the peasant. And let me show you how. He's also a kind old man.
Co robisz?
Przygotowuję ryżówkę, chłopcze. Proszę, weź sobie jedną butelkę. Tylko nie mów Silasowi.
Well, Silas is here, but okay, sure, thank you.
Jak idzie destylacja?
Przy tych facetach ledwie nadążam z zamówieniami. Ci to potrafią wypić. I nawet mi to na rękę. Przynajmniej psy ryżowego księcia zostawiają mnie w spokoju.
So he's part of the slaves of Rice Lord, essentially.
Co możesz mi powiedzieć o ryżowym księciu?
To zapchlony wieprz. Jego siepacze zmuszają słabszych do pracy na polach. Jedyna osoba, która mogłaby się mu przeciwstawić, to Horacy, ale on nie lubi przemocy. Słyszałem, jak kiedyś powiedział, że ma ochotę pogruchotać księciu kości, ale tak naprawdę nigdy by tego nie zrobił. To by było wbrew jego zasadom.
But not against our beliefs. Now guys, despite you not getting an entry in the Horatio the Peasant journal, you now have the clue what Horatio would do, but it would mean breaking his oath. But he will maybe not mind someone else doing the job. So, let's now go and visit him. We know where the peasants retire for the night, which is fantastic.
Zakłócasz mój odpoczynek.
I'm so sorry, Jeremiah. You go to bed. And it's very convenient that the peasants sleep so close to the tavern, because that means a very short journey for us, okay? Oh, one thing I forgot. Once we have access to the pub, we can have a small talk with the bouncer.
Jak tam sprzedaż ryżówki?
Pogadaj z Silasem, my nie narzekamy.
That's fair. And where I want to go is right here. I kind of wish this jetty over here would be connected via some wooden planks on the other side. This way we have to get wet, but that's fine. Guys, as tempting as it is to complete a quest, please do not talk to Balkagan yet. Again, implications for cunning schemes, brownie points, and true believer achievements, okay? You're gonna make a decision now, you're gonna mess up the other paths. So, let's just talk to Horatio over here. Oh, see, we can... The day has moved on. We are now at day 9, so we can now redeliver water to all the peasants, which would then mean there would be no confrontation with Lefty if you so decide.
Przemyślałem sobie to wszystko jeszcze raz.
No i? Wymyśliłeś coś lepszego?
Well, I didn't come up with it, but I heard something cool.
Tak. Chciałbym przeciwstawić się ryżowemu księciu i jego zbirom.
Wielu już próbowało przed tobą.
He just needs a little bit of reassurance.
Mogę pokonać ryżowego księcia i jego bandytów, jeśli mi pomożesz.
Dobrze. Przysiągłem, że nigdy nie zaatakuję innego człowieka, ale nie powiedziałem, że nie pokażę komuś, jak to zrobić.
Zamieniam się w słuch.
Jeśli chcesz mocno uderzyć, musisz najpierw popracować nad odpowiednią techniką. To pierwsza zasada dobrego kowala. Naucz się uderzać całą ręką, od ramienia po nadgarstek. Im lepiej sobie z tym poradzisz, tym silniejszy będzie twój cios. Sam się wkrótce przekonasz.
Excellent. Let's thank him for that.
Dzięki za pomoc.
Wykorzystaj tę wiedzę wyłącznie w słusznej sprawie.
I'm sure we will. Even Nameless has thoughts on this in the journal entry. Horatio showed me how to use my strength in battle and how to strike harder. A real pure soul, that one. Yeah, for justice. So, we now have 31 strength, but guys... yeah, that means we can equip the Rusty Two-Hander, but that's only because we carry 2 of these Rings of Power. We get rid of one, for example, to exchange for weapon protection. We can, however, still equip the Stone Crusher, which is absolutely fantastic. And if we put on Digger's Trousers, which are better, we have 30 defense and can wield Stone Crusher with 26 strength. In other words, also with the Longbow equipped, we are pretty damn powerful. Now, by the way, you don't have to do this, there is no follow-up to this. Nameless will tell Horatio he's gonna defeat Rice Lord and his thugs, but actually, not really. But let me go for a slight detour. We still have... Oh, it's gonna be 4 AM soon, I need to hurry, oh my god, because I wanna go on a stealing marathon. But we can do that. And the way we're gonna do that, we've already defeated Lefty.
Nie ma sprawy, nic się nie stało.
And you can see the level 4 thugs will even start running because they are so weak. There's the Rice Lord.
Facet ma już dość!
Oh, uh-oh, okay. So we're doing this, huh? Oh my god.
Sam jesteś sobie winien!
And his reach is longer, and I didn't refill my health. I completely underestimated him, which is on me.
Facet ma już dość!
That was a tough fight, and we get the stuff we would be able to trade on console versions, meaning the ring that increases our health, which is always kind of worthless, and 40 ore. We also got Scepter, which is a very rare but not a unique two-handed weapon. Okay? And now we've defeated Rice Lord and his thugs, got some experience for it, and fulfilled our promise to Horatio with our newly found strength. Okay? Now we are bleeding all over the place, but I don't think we quite have time to... refill our health. I need to be very quick and intentional about this. And oh my god, there's a mercenary firing a bow at us. I guess it was within his radius fighting with the Rice Lord and they have the same faction applied. But that's fine. I'm sure he's gonna cool off. Right? I still think it was worth it. Anyway, guys, normally these people would be asleep and I would be sneaking, but alas, no one is asleep. So, let's now get Khorinis' chest. He will not mind, it's just left-right alternating. And already the loot inside Mercenaries' chests is so much better than anything we've seen in the Old Game's Outer Ring, which makes a lot of sense. Then this is the same code, left-right alternating. Okay. And again, pressing the tilt key on the keyboard to go for his fist allows Nameless to let go of the chest much quicker. There are also 2 huts above that little enclave with Gorn and his pals. On console versions as well, there is an incorrect bed placement. One mercenary is always gonna be awake here, which is incredibly annoying. The only way to avoid trouble here will be to use a sleep scroll to put him to sleep. Which at this point you can only have one off, and this is not a good place to use it. Later about that. Then this should be left, left, right, 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 left. Fantastic. Ooh, 123 ore. Nice. Oh, that was Cord's hut. Okay, I'm sure he doesn't mind. This one should be left. I thought they're supposed to threaten me first. Okay. Left, right, left. Okay. Excellent. Now, here we have the little enclave with Torlov. We are first gonna get our hands on the right one. So this should be left, right, left, left, right, left. Excellent. Oh, this is fantastic. Getting rich so quickly is so much fun in video games. Then double right, triple left, and single right. Fantastic. What I do without these beautiful notes, I truly do not know. Okay, now Torlov himself has nothing in his hut. There is one hut above Torlov's place. So this should be left, right, left, right, left, left. Now be very careful on consoles. The guards guarding Lee will notice this one, even if you sneak at night. These guys will, so they'll start shooting. You need to leave and come back when they cool off. Now Lee, again, no one sleeps anymore, but Lee has some good stuff in his chest. It's left, right, left, left, right, right. 220 or 30 arrows. I mean, what more do you need in life? So that's essentially 250 of value. Now, I want to demonstrate something and show you the reason why I've looted Wolf's chest during daytime. Because during nighttime, at least in my really bugged out PC version of the game, you can sneak into his hut. See, his back is turned. But unlike any other NPC in the game, he reacts to the chest being touched. He's the only NPC on PC version that does this for some reason, which is really interesting. So, we took care of that during daytime, however. Now we are gonna enter Homer's hut, so this should be left, left, right, left. What? No? Oh, this is right, left, right, left. Sorry, Homer's hut is the one after. That's fine, we lost one lockpick, whatever. So again, Homer's should be left, left, right, left. Okay. Yeah, there he is. They didn't even mind us entering, which is fantastic. There are also going to be a couple of chests here that don't have any lock at all, which is a lot of fun to just go and plunder. Okay. And now, there's Butch's hut, but he has nothing on him, and this was... Oh wait, this one doesn't have a code. See? It's green, it's unlocked. Fantastic. Oh, come on, Butch, you're threatening me after I kicked your ass? I mean, from the back whilst you were unaware in a really cowardly way, but hey! It's the thought that counts. Okay. Fantastic, and now we want triple left and once right, if I'm not mistaken. Excellent. There's not much food in there. The diggers would all have grilled meat, but the rogues all have rice schnapps, which is plentiful here. Again, great attention to detail. This one should be alright. Fantastic. Now I need to scroll down in my notes. Let's see. This one will be right, left, left, right. I think. Fantastic. Okay.
Masz szczęście, już miałem wyklepać.
Now this
ci
is where
buźkę.
Balkagan hangs out during daytime, but for now we want left, right,
Hej, ty!
so just
Spadaj!
alternating.
No już!
Oh, we lost a few seconds there. Let's see if we can make this in time.
Masz szczęście.
Okay,
już
now guys,
miałem
even if we're in a
wyklepać
hurry,
ci
be
buźkę.
very careful not to approach the bodyguards over there guarding Laris. That is for next episode I want to keep. So, again, implications for the Cunning Schemes achievement, which you can mess up if you don't do things in a specific way. So, let's now go to this end of the highest most tier of the Rogues Enclave. And, oh yeah, this one should not have a lock. There are, I think, 4 chests in a row that don't have a lock, which is, so much fun to get the loot so quickly. These guys don't even mind you entering. Again, on consoles, you'll need to be a bit more methodical, sneak in, but at least they'll be asleep. Okay? There's Buster over there, again unguarded. And after Buster's chest, there should be the final one, which doesn't have any lock. And then I'm gonna let you down, guys. There is one chest that we cannot open. It requires a non-existent key, something they fixed in console versions, and I'm gonna tell you the code. So this right here is the chest, which on PC is impossible to get. You can see it's locked with a key. On consoles, you can lockpick it, and the code is left, right, left. Okay? There's no significant loot there. It's generic stuff like in all others, okay? Just wanting to let you know in case you're playing on PlayStation or Xbox. Then left, left, right, right here. Fantastic. And then left, right, left. Same code that was supposed to be applicable to the chest over there. Oh, there's Brucey Boy. Bruce, you'll need to beat up on consoles to not have him interfere, because he sees through walls and it's very annoying. Even if you sneak into this, the moment you touch a chest, Bruce will get hostile. So beat him up, and you know how via saving and reloading you can reset his knockdown timer. And then Sharky, along with some roommate, has right, right, left, left. And then finally, it's Cypher, the richest drug dealer in the realm. So left, right, left, right, and be very careful about how you enter this hut, because the bouncers might talk to you, and we don't want that. And now, my friends, I'm gonna get out of here, but we have pretty much robbed every single chest blind. Let's see if I can get the map of the colony, and you will see there's still a lot of grey dots. Those are the ore nuggets and the ore mount, and brown chests. But these ones, well, there's Laris's hut, there's the one we didn't open because of a non-existent key, and the rest is in the Magician's Enclave, which we're gonna get, I think, in Chapter 3-ish. So, until then, oh my god, this episode has been long. If this video is under 3 hours, it's gonna be a miracle. But, bleeding profusely, but so much stronger, equipped with Stone Crusher and a Longbow, and incredibly richer, and able to sell drugs for the rest of the game, we're gonna end our episode next to Balkagan before we complete his quest, because the reward we choose is gonna set us on a couple of alternate paths. So my friends, remember, we have the brownie points back up before we even left the camp with Mordrag. That is important to keep. But I'm now gonna save the game here and end the episode. Guys, what do you think of New Camp? Please let me know in the comment section. We've covered up pretty much everything but the Mage's Enclave and Laris, the leader of the rogues himself. That I'm gonna cover in the next episode, where we're gonna take a look at what it's like to join the New Camp and the Sect Camp in alternate timelines. And then the next episode will be about joining the old camp. Anyway guys, so much to look forward to, but now I want to say thanks to my absolutely fantastic patrons. Now Balkagan, finish your smoke, and let's settle this business. Blangoopel, Mick, Severin Drax, Enstickle, Katie Danger, Boo2, Basic Branny, Bino, and Alex Clark. Thank you guys so much for being my loyal Winstons and for swapping Shrike's name tag with our own. Now if we could only make out what's written on it, we could make out the nameless hero's name. Next, I would like to say big thanks to my caretaker Winstons, Karavetu, Renegade Derny, Blanket Fox, Dig the Bee, PD92, Akires, and Tomino1553. Thank you so much for your support of the channel, and also thank you for taking care and delivering water to every single peasant in the rice fields the very next day after the nameless hero lost his nerves with Lefty and decided to ditch this job. I would also like to give special thanks to my brave veteran Winstons, Andrea Paviglianiti, Alexander, and Richard Dearman. Thank you guys so much for your valiant support of the channel, and look, whilst Horatio might have taught us how to increase the strength of our arm swings, it is you guys who have taught Horatio how to do that. Thank you so much for sharing your bodybuilding expertise with Horatio and in turn with us. This knowledge will be invaluable for the rest of our stay inside the colony. And finally, I would like to give one very special thanks to my one and only fine vintage Winston, Akira Foxmind. Thank you so much for your long and incredibly generous support of the channel. And also, I have to be honest, the pants we put on didn't fool anyone. It was in fact you who put us on the lifetime guests list of the new camp Tavern on the Lake. Thanks to this prestigious membership, we've closed 2 largest deals ever involving Bali Sidro and Cypher. We're just lucky we did it before these two met and knew about each other, otherwise the business would be just between the two of them. And on a final note, I'd like to say thanks to my free Patreon members as well as to each and every one of you for making it towards the end of this massive episode. Come to think of it, I've been saying these words over and over for every single video this year. I'm producing less videos, but that's because all of them happen to be so massive, both for Gothic and Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness. Nevertheless guys, I originally toyed with the idea of splitting this video into 2 videos and somehow making sense of what part of the new camp to include with Ricefields episode and what part to include with the Free Mine episode, but the more I tried to do that, the less sense it made, and I just decided, you know what, our old camp episode was pretty long, let's make a dedicated new camp episode equally as long, and I am really happy how it worked out. The downside of course is that you had to wait a long time for this episode, but the positive news is that the next one is gonna be shorter and you'll have to wait a shorter amount of time. Nevertheless, looking at our 8th day inside the colony, we have leveled up again to level 9, we have spent 10 of our skill points to learn how to do acrobatics. This will be a massive help over the course of the adventure, and also 20 more skill points how to master one-handed weapons. This is absolutely fantastic. We are equipped with the powerful Stone Crusher, and what makes me especially happy, essentially Ballora's weapon, which we finally earned. We have Longbow, one of the deadliest weapons you can get in the first chapter, and are trained with the bow. And what's more, we have picked up 5 additional points of strength for Horatio, which I'm gonna include in this line of bonuses from consumables. It's not like drinking a potion, but it is a one-time bonus on top of what you learn from learning points, so I'm including it here. As for our combined fortune, we are at 1257 arrows, 666 bolts, a truly cursed number, and 6588 ore nuggets. And also, we are at 14 out of 51 achievements. It might seem like we just scratched the surface of the game, but no, all our different loose ends are gonna come to fruition in the next episode, where I'm gonna show you what it looks like to join the new camp and the swamp camp, and then the number 10 episode will be about us joining the old camp, which is what needs to happen in this playthrough for the Mage of All the Gods achievement. Okay guys, it will all make a lot of sense a little bit later on. Nevertheless, the next video from me will actually be, you guessed it, from our Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness Remastered Let's Play series, as that's the main focus of my channel and what most of my audience want. But after that, the next 9th episode will be out, and you have essentially us looking at 2 factions to look forward to and what finally becoming part of a strong gang looks like in this game. Something we worked so hard for, and I can't wait to show you the benefits and the perks of joining the societies within the colony. The sooner I get to that, the better. It's gonna be a somewhat shorter episode than what you've seen today, so it should also be out a lot quicker. With that in mind, I can't wait to show it to you, and until then, may the sleeper awaken.